ACC Network Game of the Week comes to Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field. 4-1 Pitt takes on 2-4 Georgia Tech.
And hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brand along with Dave Archer. Glad to have you along. Now, we were in Pittsburgh last week, and we saw Pitt beat Virginia. Now, I know you like their quarterback at Pitt, Nate Peterman.
I really do, Tim. It's a kid that's only in his 6th start today, transfer from Tennessee, but he has great accuracy, throwing the ball at almost 67%, and he has not turned the football over in his last 2 games. But make no mistake, the number 7 defense in the nation arrives in Atlanta today, and they come with bad intentions. They've treated the 2 Virginia teams rudely. In fact, 11 sacks, 4 interceptions, 18 tackles for loss, and it's a myriad of guys that make it happen. They will hit you.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, partner, they may have their hands full today. Georgia Tech has perhaps the most exciting player in college football.
Well, Justin Thomas is the first perfect fit for Paul Johnson's offense, but it has not been smooth sailing this year for Georgia Tech. In fact, there are the numbers for Justin Thomas. The MVP of the Orange Bowl a year ago has had tough sledding, and a lot of reasons why. They've had injuries, a number of things have happened, but when this rambling wreck is purring, you have a tough time at getting it stopped because they will beat you in a ton of ways. The perimeter run game will devastate you with their speed to the outside, and then they can pound you up front with the power running game on the inside. They will reduce you physically if you allow them to.
Meanwhile, Pitt has a receiver that we'll be seeing on Sundays in a few years. Here's Roddy Jones with more on number 23.
Tim, you and Arch talked about Nate Peterman, the quarterback. His favorite receiver is number 23, Tyler Boyd, as you mentioned, regarded as one of the best receivers in the country. And if you take a look at the Pitt receiving record books, you see Tyler Boyd's name all over it at number 2, but not for long. He needs only 7 receptions to pass Devin Street as number 1 receiver all time in Pitt history, and is closing in on the mark for yardage as well. He's also a big target on 3rd downs, Arch. They go to him almost 50% of the time on 3rd downs. Pretty good security blanket for a quarterback.
Absolutely. Tyler Boyd, the All-American, 33 receptions. The next closest guy has about 9 receptions. So he's also outstanding as a decoy to create opportunities for other players.
ACC football is brought to you in high definition by your local Tire Pros dealer. Win a VIP trip for 2 to the ACC Championship and Continental Tires at TireProsSweepstakes.com. Pitt has won the toss and elected to receive. So we'll get our first look at number 23, Tyler Boyd. Folks, in memory of Heisman and Broyles, Joe Hamilton and Calvin Johnson and Joe Burns, let's enjoy the day at Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field on this Hall of Fame weekend. And we're underway. No chance for Boyd to return that one. Touchback. They'll bring it out, and that's where Pitt will start. Marks, take a look at the impact players brought to you by Food Lion.
Chris James played extremely well a week ago. We'll see Quadre Ollison at running back as well, but 94 yards rushing for James. And on that wide receiver we just talked about, Roddy's completely laid out what the All-American will do. He is going to try to hurt Georgia Tech in a lot of ways. They will line him up all over the field. He'll start in the slot here.
What a day in college football. Michigan, Michigan State, USC, Notre Dame, LSU, Florida, and Pitt, Georgia Tech here. And there is the first reception for Tyler Boyd. He needs 6 more to become the all-time receiver at Pitt. P.J. Davis chased him out of bounds.
Look at our Food Lion impact players defensively. Adam Gotsis up front, the Australian senior in the middle, outstanding defender that can line up in a lot of places along the defensive line. He'll create havoc today. And when you look at the linebacker core, P.J. Davis leads his team in tackles. Maybe a little bit undersized, but you can't undersize that heart. He's got a big heart. He's going to get to the football.
2nd down and 5. Way and Ford go wide. Olsen is your blocking back. Peterman's first throw has it complete. Out near midfield. That's Tyler Boyd, his 2nd catch of the day.
Boy, Tim, love the design of the play. Tyler Boyd, we talked about, he'll line up all over the place. First plays in the slot, catches the screen. And this time he lines up inside in the slot. They clear it out with 2 receivers to the outside and run Boyd on the out route from the slot area. And Peterman right on the money with the ball.
Gain of 18 yards.
31 consecutive games of the catch for Boyd.
Needs 5 more to be Pitt's all-time receiver.
This is a Georgia Tech defense, Tim, that was in Paul Johnson's mind was going to be one of the strengths of the team. They have a lot of veterans coming back, and they have struggled some. It's a veteran secondary. They have had some injuries on that side of the ball as well. But Adam Gotsis, 96, you see him standing right there. He is a guy that's going to have to be a little bit more active today to create some problems for Peterman.
Talked to Paul Johnson and Georgia Tech's first 4-game losing streak since 1996. He watched that Clemson tape about 40 times. Here's Olesen. He'll be close to the first down, just a little bit short. Pick up a 4. They needed 5.
Well, this is a perfect game if you want to be a lineman or a linebacker, because it's going to be downhill running game from Pitt. It's big on big up front, man to man, nose to nose, whatever cliche you want to use. If you're an inside interior defender, this has got to be the game you love. You're going to go toe to toe.
Olesen is 6'2", 230 pounds, just a freshman, stepped in for the injured James Conner. Last year's ACC Player of the Year. Holtz and Parrish, 2 tight ends, jumbo formation. 3rd down and 1, around the corner, 1st down. Olesen still on his feet inside the 35.
Quadre Olesen comes in as the leading rusher for Pitt. Had a little struggle last week, laid the ball on the ground. Chris James stepped in for him, but he has had an outstanding start to the year. Had a 200-yard game earlier in the season. And remember, James Conner, the Terminator, was supposed to be the guy carrying the ball, hurt in the first game of the year. This kid stepped in and went for 200 yards in his first opportunity.
1st down and 10 at the 34. Here he is, straight ahead, no fair dodging, the big fella. You talked about him laying the ball on the ground last week. Coach says, well, he runs with the ball a little bit below his elbow. I love Coach speed.
You know, you love Olesen, and you talk about coming from good genes. Both his mom and dad were scholarship basketball players. His mom played, Vicky played at Alabama State. His dad, Wayne, played at Buffalo State. Both were scholarship basketball players, so the kid's got some athletic genes in him.
It's in his DNA, and he's not overwhelmed by the big picture, the big game. 2nd down and 5. Peterman adjusts the offense, sets the formation. And they'll run it with Olesen inside the 25-yard line. Tripped up by Chris Milton. He's a fine defensive back, leads the FBS with 7 block picks, 2 blocks this year.
Well, this is power running game, power sweep now. Going to get the fullback out in front in Ashton. Get the big fella pulling from the inside and Brian O'Neill. And really a good play by Milton, because that had a lot more in it. With O'Neill out in front, the big tackle, there was a chance that Quadre Olesen was going to put that in the end zone.
Olesen picks up another 1st down and move the chains. Olesen averaging 7 yards a carry. They're just going to pound it at Georgia Tech, down to the 21. Tackle made by Brant Mitchell.
Well, I love the activity, the offensive line. Artie Rowell, 57, the center, 63, Alex Officer, pull out in front of Olesen. Power footballs. Georgia Tech going to get a full taste of that all day long today.
So to bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Panthers. They're in scoring position already. Dantes Ford, Tyler Boyd, they go to the top of the screen. Olesen again inside the 20 before he's pushed back. Tyler McCordez was there first.
Now, nice job by Tech to create a 3rd down situation here. Now 3rd and about 6 yards, Tim, and this is where Tyler Boyd and these talented set of tight ends will come into play. Georgia Tech, they're willing to play some man coverage here with number 23, Tyler Boyd.
In scoring position because Chris Blewett, their field goal kicker, is dangerous, and his longest is 48 yards this year. Meanwhile, this is more important, 3rd down and 6. Peterman throws over the middle, incomplete. A flag comes in late, intended for Tyler Boyd, pass interference.
Well, you got the guy, if you're Georgia Tech, the guy you wanted on him, DJ White, outstanding
pass
corner.
interference, number 28, defense, automatic 1st down.
Well, and I think that DJ may have gotten the right arm in on the shoulder. Let's watch the right shoulder of Tyler Boyd. Does he twist the body as he comes in? You see him wrapping with the right hand, moves the shoulder of Boyd, and they're going to call that every time. That's what the official's looking for. They're looking for the offhand. Thought that DJ White was in perfect position there. Probably didn't need to interfere.
What a drive. Another 1st down for Pitt. Olesen already 7 carries, Arch, 32 yards. And here he comes again. Adam Gotts has met him head on. Adam Gotts is the captain of this defense, all ACC. He's a big one. We sat down with him yesterday, 6'5", 282.
Well, Gotts comes in as the number 2 tackler. You rarely see that. When you look at the numbers, Gotts is number 2 on the team in tackles from the defensive tackle position. It tells you a lot about him.
Big, strong Aussie, and that time he put Olesen on the Barbie. 11th play coming up. Second down and 10. They stop play. It'll be timeout, Georgia Tech.
Timeout, Georgia Tech.
Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 9:02 to play in the first quarter. So far, it's all Pitt.
ACC football is being brought to you by Food Lion. Life's better with a lion. By Duke Energy. By Coyote Tractor. By FanDuel. And by Geico, saving people money for over 75 years.
Georgia Tech coming in. The jacket walk into Bobby Dodd Stadium. No score here early first quarter. And how about the matchup? Ted Roof right here, defensive coordinator. Jim Taney, offensive coordinator. You love the chess match between the two. Right now, Pitt has held the football for over almost 6 minutes of the game, Tim. Ted Roof trying to find a way to get this Pitt offense off the field.
9:02 to play in the first. This has been a terrific drive as you look at 10 plays, 57 yards, almost 6 minutes by Pitt. This is second down and 10. Fake the end around, throw over the middle. And it's going to be complete for a first down at the 6-yard line. J.P. Holtz, the tight end, covered by Lawrence Austin, the nickel.
Well, Keyshawn Freeman's going to get the pressure, 42 right here. Nice job by Peterman to undersign man coverage in the secondary. So he had an opportunity to pull his tight end away from the defender. And an excellent catch down the field by J.P. Holtz to get a first down inside the 10-yard line. Nice play by the quarterback to lose ground and get that football to his tight end.
Pitt looked like a Coastal Division contender a year ago after a quick start. Panthers started 3-0, but then Pitt lost 6 of its next 7. And they blew a 31-6 lead and lost to Houston in the Armed Forces Bowl. They're going to take another look at this. They want to make sure he had control of it and his hands run to the ball.
Let's take a look and see if Holtz gets down to the football. Certainly looks good there, so it'll be a matter of him going to the ground. Was the ball secured as he went to the ground? Looking for movement on the football. It certainly looks like a catch there, Tim. I didn't see anything that would indicate that J.P. Holtz did not secure that catch. Nice job by the big tight end. This is a good group of pass-catching tight ends. Don't catch a lot of them, but they can catch it.
That's his 10th catch of the year. He already has 2 touchdowns. Our Carolina 4 keys to the game. Arch, what are they?
Well, when you look at Pitt and how they move the football, it's more about their defense. Know your options. That's the option running game. You got to make sure that you take care of responsibility. Assignment football, and then of course trench warfare. We've already seen it. Both offensive lines, both defensive lines. The battle that's going to happen against these 2 running games.
They confirm the call. J.P. Holtz did have the football. First down.
So far, Georgia Tech has not won the trench warfare in this drive. Pitt has been able to move the ball on the ground.
Pitt, Duke tied at the top with 2-0 records in the league. Pitt hasn't gone 3-0 in conference play since 2010, and that was back in the Big East. Here's Olesen again, looking for some outside room, chased down from behind. Great job by Alford to chase him down from the backside.
P.J. Davis on the ground. Talked about P.J., the leading tackler on this football team.
Don't want to lose him.
No, leading tackler from a year ago.
Coaches say he eats and sleeps football. Looking at his leg.
Yeah, a lot of concern. Obviously, these Georgia Tech fans have enjoyed watching PJ for the last 3 years, two and a half years, play football here. See if we can find PJ. And here he is going down. Play.
I don't want to speculate, but it looked like he may have gotten just kicked in the shin.
It looked like maybe just a late roll-up. He was going against going head-to-head with George Aston, the fullback there. Hopefully he didn't get rolled up too bad. This is a Georgia Tech football team that has had their share of injuries this year. Most of them have been on the offensive side of the ball. You know, they have lost some guys on the defensive side. It looks like PJ banged up here.
Partner, it's not very often we get to do a game where the two schools have a combined 13 national championships between them. It's an amazing stat.
Yeah, rich tradition for both these schools. And obviously the concern for everybody here for PJ Davis, the linebacker, Paul Davis, known as PJ around here, around the flats here at Georgia Tech.
Brant Mitchell comes into the game. He's the young freshman linebacker when they love him.
Now Brant Mitchell, the guy you mentioned, stepped in. There's a lot of they're raving about the true freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee.
6'2", 235-pound youngster.
But what you lose a tremendous amount of experience with PJ coming out of the game.
Second down and goal from the 6. They look for Boyd in the corner. Touchdown Pittsburgh. Tyler Boyd. His third touchdown catch of the year. 6 yards out.
Boy, this is as good as you can run this. This is the goal line fade route to Tyler Boyd. And Boyd sets it up by stemming it upfield about 3 steps, and then he's looking for the ball on the pylon. Let me know if you think Peterman did a good job with the throw. Wow. What a great throw from Nate Peterman.
That's Boyd's third catch. He needs 4 more to become Pitt's all-time leading receiver. Chris Blewett on for the extra point. Boy, he is special. Good snap, good hold, splits the sticks, and it's 7-0 Panthers. Bolitnikov guy, player of the year candidate, best all-around athlete in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Boyd for the touchdown. 13 plays. We'll be back. A lot going on here in Atlanta, but this morning it was bow time at Bojangles. How about this? Grab a big bow box and feed the whole group with Bojangles chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea. Arch bought them all some. Bojangles giving 50 lucky winners the opportunity to tailgate at the ACC Fan Fest in the big bow box and win a pair of tickets to the Dr. Pepper ACC Football Championship. All you have to do is enter online at theacc.com/bowbox or by texting bowbox to 24247.
I live here in Atlanta, and so a lot of people out tailgate. How about that drive here by Bank of America? The Bank of America scoring drive, 13 plays, 75 yards, over 7 minutes off the clock. When you see those kind of numbers, you think that's the way Georgia Tech normally drives the football.
Jamal Golden takes it. It will be no return. Let's take you back to Charlotte. Louisville and Florida State going on, Katie.
Thanks, Tim. Your Hyundai update takes us to Doak Campbell. That's Louisville's Lamar Jackson to James Quick. An 18-yarder puts the Cards up 7-3 on top of Florida State.
With that, we'll see Louisville next week. Lamar Jackson settling into that quarterback position. Kind of topsy-turvy for Bobby Petrino the first few weeks, but Lamar has really settled in. PJ Davis working on the veteran linebacker.
First down, Yellow Jackets at the 25. Their first offensive play of the game, trailing 7-0. The option, big hole, crease, slash it, Lynch. First down, across the 40 to the 44. Bam Bradley was there to make the tackle, but not before he picked up 18 yards.
Well, the third option of the triple option, the back, quarterback, pitch it. Lynch is in perfect position, good perimeter blocking, and boy, you drew up a coaching tape of the way you run that one. That was it right there.
Justin Thomas is special. What a read. Marcus Marshall in the backfield with him. Feedback straight ahead, fake it again, go with the same option. This time they figure it out. Clinton Lynch.
Boy, Jordan
goes
Whitehead.
down hard.
Tim, I know you love this guy. Jordan Whitehead, the free safety Good job of coming up and filling. Somebody's got to have the back. I got him, says number 9, the leading tackler for this Pitt defense. Another tackle for loss. They came in with 18 in the last 2 games. Add another one.
Brings up 2nd down and 11 for Justin Thomas and Georgia Tech. Go the opposite way. They've got the quarterback, but the pitch man's open. Marshall around the corner. He's free. Look out. It's a track race. Marshall in for a touchdown, Georgia Tech. 58 yards. How do you do? The Ramblin' Wreck with a hell of a touchdown by the engineer.
Talking to Paul Johnson before the game, he says we're going to start Marcus Marshall, the freshman, at B-back. We've got to have more explosive plays on the field. He is their most explosive player other than their quarterback, and you see it right there. Excellent blocking on the perimeter, and Marshall shoves it in the end zone.
Harrison Butker ties the score at 7. How about this start? You want football? We've got it. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station.
Who's the only coach to be named ACC Coach of the Year in his first 2 seasons?
Think you know the answer? To find out, download and play the ACC Football Trivia app powered by Duke Energy.
7-7 here in Atlanta. Paul Johnson's offense, just that looked a little bit more familiar to him. They've struggled over the last 4 games, but got a quick strike touchdown out of their freshman Marcus Marshall, and we're all tied at 7 here in Atlanta.
Tyler Boyd standing at his own goal line. Harrison Butker kicks it his way. This will be about 6 yards deep, and he's not going to bring it out. Let's take a look at the touchdown for Georgia Tech.
Assignment football when you play a triple option team. Counter option. We're going to freeze it as Justin Thomas makes his decision. See defenders closing on the quarterback. Nobody out here for the pitch. Justin Thomas is going to read it and pitch the ball to the outside. There's Marshall. Then the key block on the outside by Ricky June. Roddy, that looked like a yellow jacket play right there.
It sure did. And when I talked to Trey Braun earlier this week, I asked him who's the young guy that's impressed you the most, and he said Marcus Marshall. He's mature beyond his years. And Coach Johnson said he's the most explosive guy they've had at the B-back position since the guy that's playing in the league now, Jonathan Dwyer.
Yeah, Paul was talking before the game. He said we need to get him on the field. He's our most explosive back right now.
Here's Boyd taken down immediately. Gain of 1, maybe. Tripped up by Corey Griffin, the safety.
But you can bet that Ted Roos group was on the sidelines in that limited time they had before the Georgia Tech touchdown, that they were trying to find a way. We have got to slow down the Pitt rushing attack. Pitt held the ball for over 7 minutes. There's Ted Roos right there trying to dial in this defense.
Good news for Georgia Tech. P.J. Davis should return. It's an ankle injury. Play action. Peterman steps up, throws into the flats. It's complete. That's Olesen. Olesen's close to a first down, but it's going to be short. Let's go back to Charlotte. Check in with Katie in the studio.
Thanks. Your Hyundai update takes us back to Tallahassee. It's Roberto Aguayo, a 32-yard field goal. That brings Florida State back, but Louisville 7-6 still.
All right, Katie, thank you. Good game there, but this is Quadri Olesen right now getting a lot of attention for Pitt. He's been the story so far.
He's going to get rolled up here, Tim. You see the tackle high, and then his legs are kind of trapped behind him and gets rolled over. In fact, his shoe came off, the torque on that foot.
Olesen with 8 carries, 32 yards, led the way on that touchdown drive.
Well, you look at his season so far, a little bit slow last week against Virginia, but he has really stepped in grand fashion, filling in for the Terminator. James Conner, injured in the first game of the year, stepped in, went for over 200 yards, and he's been a steady, solid guy to go to. And the guy that did a great job a week ago is going to come in now for Olesen. It looks like Olesen getting off to the sideline his own power. Chris James going to step in now at tailback number 5, and he had almost 100 a week ago.
Olesen, you saw those numbers, was the Rookie of the Week after the Youngstown State explosion. This is 3rd down and 3. Chad Voitek in the ball game now for Pitt. He's the backup quarterback, was the starter last year, usually runs it when he comes in, and here he is. Now he throws over the top to break a tendency, wide open, and I don't think Holtz was even looking for the football.
Well, he was supposed to be looking for the football, but he got a little discombobulated as he broke through the malaise of players. He's trying to fight through. He's right here on the end of the line of scrimmage, and he's getting kind of pinballed around. And it actually is a good read. He just couldn't get his head around. The big fella trying to get that big torso rotated around to find a football.
Boy, that was a touchdown.
Boy, they had an opportunity there for a play. That was a nice call by Jim Chaney.
Voitek had run the ball every time this season when they ran that play. And this time they pull up. This is a beautiful punt by Ryan Winslow. Golden will let it hit. Can they stop it? Yeah, it gets a Pitt bounce and stopped inside the 10. Great job by Winslow. 60-yard punt, no return. Take a look at our Haviland defensive shield.
Now, this Pitt defense has been outstanding this season. Thanks to the top 25 in 8 different defensive categories, leads the nation in sacks per game. Come in with 21 total sacks, 40 tackles for loss. That's before the game started. They already have a couple of tackles for loss in this game. They have been really good, especially since ACC play started against Virginia Tech and Virginia.
This is 1st down, Georgia Tech. This is a quick strike offense, so Pitt's defense, as good as it is, certainly being tested. 40% of the touchdowns for Georgia Tech have been 2 minutes or less. We just saw Marshall take that long touchdown run of 58 yards. Look out. And it's caught. What a catch by Michael Summers. 7th catch of the year. Terrace Webb was there. It was a 50-50 ball, but Summers came down with it after a gain of 34.
Well, this is a guy that they've been waiting to get back in the lineup. He's been banged up, and Michael Summers adds a tremendous amount of experience this wide receiver corps.
Georgia Tech averages 212 yards a game. Pitt allows only 84.5. Something's got to give. What a battle so far here in the first quarter.
Well, we'll get down to Roddy Jones on the sideline. Little problem with his mic there.
Here's the option again, straight ahead. Marshall's the ball carrier. Tackle made by Galambos. He had a great game last week at linebacker. If it's not Whitehead, it is Galambos who is the bell cow. Pickup of 3. Let's go down to Roddy Jones. Roddy.
Tim, the spotlight today, the thing that I'm looking at the most is the Georgia Tech rushing offense against the Pitt rush defense. Now, you've seen explosive plays already from Georgia Tech. They only had one run over 25 yards in the past 4 games. They've already seen one today for a touchdown, so they got off to a good start.
Justin Thomas lost the ball. Pitt came up with it and carries it back in to Georgia Tech territory, so it's a turnover, and the defense wins the battle. Harris Webb, the nickelback, knocked it loose.
I think Paul Johnson thinks Justin Thomas was out of bounds. Let's take a look at the end of this. Justin trying to be aggressive, running the football. It was something they wanted to do today. He turns up to get a little extra yardage. And it looks like the ball just right as he's going to the ground. They're going to have to take a look at this one. Let's take a look. Ball in the wrong arm.
It's out.
And the ball's definitely out.
Grigsby knocked it loose. Webb picked it up and returned it. And Pitt is back in business.
To get that ball in the outside arm. Left it exposed to the inside, and good job by Pitt to get the ball out. Something Pitt has struggled with is taking the ball away. Just 6 takeaways coming in. Only 1 fumble recovery, but certainly what we've seen, that certainly looks like it's going to be Panther football near midfield.
Saw the officials this morning at breakfast. They were saying our back guys may have an easy day. Back in the middle, though, up front, there's going to be all kinds of havoc with that option. Well, so far we've seen a little bit of everything, so I think everybody's busy here. If they get this the way we think it is, it'll be Pitt.
I'd review the ruling on the field stands. 1st down.
1st down, Panthers. Georgia Tech territory.
It's one of those plays where you think you're kind of going down and you're kind of out of harm's way, and Justin got a little bit lax with the football, still in bounds, and a good job by Pitt to knock it out of there.
Chris James, the tailback for Quadri Olesen. Pitt looking for his first 5-1 start since 2009. Here's James. He's got quickness. Gets around the corner. Sidesteps one and then goes down with the arm tackle. Still a pretty good pickup. Pickup of 5. We'll see what the flag is.
Offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We talked about Olsen left the game in the last drive with looked like maybe a little bit of an ankle injury. Looked like he was okay. But Chris James played really well last week. Olsen, the freshman, laid the ball on the ground. They turned to James. 11 carries, 94 yards a week ago, averaging over 5 yards a carry for the season. And he has a little bit more juice in the engine. He's got a little bit more jump. He gets clean. He can take it to the house.
Unusual penalty for either of these teams. They're not very penalized. Two of the cleanest teams in the nation. Peterman goes deep and overthrown. It was intended for Tyler Boyd. He was well covered. Chris Milton was there with him. Good coverage.
Yeah, well done by Georgia Tech to sort that one out. Had James in the left flat and had their 2 big receivers going down the field, Ford at 6'2", and of course Tyler Boyd, also a 6'2" wide receiver. Both of them can run, and Georgia Tech really did a nice job sorting that out.
Peterman's first incompletion. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by YP.com. The even more powerful yellow pages. One app, one site. YP can do that. 2nd and 15. James again. Let's go down to Roddy. Check in on the latest with Chris James.
It's not often that you have a player in a football game that has gone viral on YouTube, but Chris James has done that. He said he made a workout video when he was a senior in high school, was sitting in class, and his friend actually saw him get retweeted by the site Stacked. He had a 68-inch box jump on that video. That's almost as tall as I am, guys. Pretty impressive.
That is really impressive. Holy. 3rd down and 10. Peterman, after his first incompletion, throws another one. Great coverage. White again knocks it away from Will.
Tim, this is a guy in the back end that I think a lot of scouts at the next level are taking a look at. He has great speed. How about the in-the-hip pocket type coverage? And it does a good job of keeping his back arm off the receiver. Doesn't hook him, and then leans in with the left hand and bats it away. That's textbook cover play from the corner.
Jamal Golden will be standing inside his 10, but Ryan Winslow's trying to pooch this. And does a pretty nice job with it. Gets it inside the 15. So a 35-yard punt. Good hang time, and he backs up Georgia Tech. March, let's take a look at our Hamlin Rookie of the Week.
Love this guy. Jordan Whitehead, 4-star, 5-star recruit coming in. Freshman, was an outstanding running back in high school. But what a free safety has become. Leads the team in tackles. Had a great week a week ago with 12 tackles. He already has a tackle for loss in this game.
Both of these teams have some good young talent coming up that's just gaining experience. Here's that option again. Thomas pulls it. He's loose. Thomas, look out. He can flat out fly. All the way into Pitt territory and down to the 35. Finally chased down by Whitehead and Maddox.
Well, Justin Thomas is the guy that understands this offense better than anybody else on the field. Only Paul Johnson standing on this field knows this offense better than this kid. Good job of tucking it and running. Been a slow start for Justin Thomas. Had an incredible year a year ago. Over 1,700 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing. 55 plays of 10-plus yards.
There's one for 51 yards by Thomas. Drops back to throw. Incomplete, and Tyler intended for Ricky June. Boy, Justin Thomas is special. Let's get more on him from Roddy. Roddy?
Tim, and we sat down with head coach Paul Johnson yesterday. He said that he sat down with Justin and said, hey, man, you're the best player on our offense. You're one of our most explosive players. You have to be more decisive with the football, talking about getting downhill on the option and looking to run the ball a little bit more. You saw that decisiveness there as he made the defender make a choice, and it ended up in a big gain.
JT won 11 games last year. 2nd down and 10 at the 35. Takes a step back, reads the end, pitches it. How about this? This is Willis. He's got a first down for Georgia Tech, a pickup of 11.
Roddy, in talking with Justin yesterday, you know him as well as anybody, he looked like he had a little something like, you know what, I'm tired of hearing the talk. I'm going to take control today.
Hey, Justin is an ultra competitor, and that smirk that he had, that when we asked him about that exact thing, that was him saying, all right, I'm going to put my mark on this football game.
Justin Thomas with 5 rushing touchdowns already this year. Pulls this one and pitches it. Good read. Gets it out to Lynch. Lynch has company. There's a flag. Grigsby got there first. There were a lot of gold helmets and blue jerseys around.
It looked like Willis
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 49 offense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So each team now has 1 penalty. These are 2 of the least penalized teams in the country. Take a look at the Food Line impact players, Arch.
Important for this offensive line to play well. Freddie Burton, probably the best of the group up front, plays in that center spot. They have played well here early in this football game, struggled coming in. And Ricky June, the outside receiver, had a big block on the Marshall touchdown run. He's that deep threat, that go-to guy. Seems like Georgia Tech always has a big play guy on the outside, and Ricky June is that guy this year.
So the advantage now goes to the defense. We'll see if Georgia Tech can break it down. First down and 25 for the Yellow Jackets. Another good read, good pitch. This is Willis. Inside the 30, tackled by Matt Galambos. Gain of 10.
Well, Galambos is our Food Line impact player. One of them for Pitt defensively. Had a monster day a week ago. Leads his team in sacks. An active group of linebackers. Galambos is the leader there. We've talked about Whitehead, the freshman free safety, leads the team in tackles. Scored 35 touchdowns in high school a year ago at Central Valley High School, Aliquippa, PA. He is a big-time athlete.
Keep saying it, but Pitt ranks 7th nationally. They give up 85 yards rushing a game. They've already given up 161. That's the end of the first quarter, and it is a good one. Just as we had anticipated, a gorgeous day and some really good football. We're tied at 7 at historic Grant Field. Our first quarter stats brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Tim, 58 and 51-yard runs, 19 yards, 19 and a half yards per play. How about that in a run game?
Unbelievable. Pitt gives up only 85. They've given up 161 already. This year, the North Carolina Education Lottery will contribute more than $500 million to help meet North Carolina's education needs. Learn more at nc-educationlottery.org. Those stats are impressive, I think, for both teams.
Yeah, Pitt possessed the football, did a nice job of putting their touchdown on the board, and then the quick strike, as you talked about, Tim, with the Yellow Jacket offense has been on display. 2 big plays, one by Justin Thomas, the other by Marcus Marshall.
4 Georgia Tech rushers averaging 20 yards a carry. Here Thomas is going over the top. This is June. June makes the catch. Is he in? Touchdown, Georgia Tech. He beat Avante Maddox.
You get one-on-one matchups because there's so many resources trying to defend the run game. Excellent job on the fade route. Put him up the bat. The 6'3" Ricky June goes over the top. One of our Food Lion impact players. June steps up big there.
29-yard strike. At the top of the show, we said Justin Thomas, one of the most exciting players in college football, and he is. What a pass and what a catch.
Well, to understand that you get the 6'3" receiver on the outside, they're taking a look, a little bit of a delay here before the extra point to make sure that June did break the plane before going down. But just a tough matchup on the outside. I think that they're going to go ahead and take a further look at it. Maddox 5'9", the corner, working against the 6'3" June. Good recognition by Justin Thomas. He's got one-on-one coverage. Let's put my big receiver up to bat. Now let's see if June broke the plane before the knee touchdown. Yeah, you're looking at the elbow, not the knee, and certainly the elbow, the left elbow touches the inline as he extends the ball over the inline, I think. I don't see anything there that's going to reverse that. Knees are not going to touch. It's going to be the left elbow. I think that's a touchdown, Tim.
Breaks the plane. He went up and got it, didn't he, partner?
6'3", skied, went up and got it, and that's a touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
His 3rd touchdown of the year, his 13th reception. Ricky June, another one of those talented young guys here in Atlanta. Redshirt sophomore.
So much talk about run game and all the things that happen here at Georgia Tech. Why do they keep pumping out big-time wide receivers here? I mean, there's a big-timer, it seems like, here every year.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And so the Yellow Jackets take their first lead of the game. Harrison Butker for the extra point. Good snap. Good hold. Yes, sir. 14-7, Yellow Jackets. We'll be back after these messages from the University of Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech. What a drive by Georgia Tech, answering the call. 5 plays, 86 yards, 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Well, this has been a team that's really been banged up by injury, and there's just a small glimpse of just the offensive backfield. That's just the backfield banged up. Roddy, this is a team that's a mash unit.
They sure are, Archie. And when we talked to Coach Johnson, he said that at one point during the UNC game, he looked out and he had 2 former walk-ons at A-back. Now, certainly talented players, but you don't want those guys to have to carry your team along with the freshmen and redshirt freshmen that they're having to play in the offensive backfield. Making plays here today, though.
Absolutely, and they even got guys to come over from the defensive side to help them a little bit.
You know, Roddy, I know you can appreciate this, but Paul Johnson, that'll go into the end zone barely, and it'll be a touchback. But Paul Johnson has always embraced an underdog mentality, and he certainly is one coming into this game.
He certainly has. They've got their backs against the wall, and they know it. At 2-4, they're going to have to win a lot of games down the stretch to stay in the ACC conversation. But also, you have to start looking at, we've got to start winning for bowl implications as well. So Coach Johnson has certainly preached the underdog mentality to his team this week.
Now, the tough part this year, Tim, is this is a team that came in with high expectations, and maybe more so around the program. Like, you're inside the program, you know you got a lot of youth playing, but this was the team that won the Coastal a year ago, Orange Bowl champions a year ago, and returned a ton of players. So outside the program, we was talking about how good Georgia Tech was going to be.
Tyler Boyd with another catch as he inches closer to the all-time record. That's his 4th catch today. He needed 7 coming in. Yeah, there's no question, Arch. And if you're at home, I mean, Paul Johnson's had 2 10-win seasons since 2009. So he's not an underdog very often.
No, but there was so much talent that left the team a year ago, and he knew that there was going to be a huge learning curve for kids to learn how to play on both sides of the ball, and they've certainly felt some of that this year.
2nd down and 7. Chris James still in the ball game. Peterman with lots of time goes over the top. This is caught inside the 35, down to the 32. Big gain for Pitt. Dantes Ford was the receiver. Ran a post pattern for 47 yards.
Yeah, Ford inside slot, straight down the field on the post route. And really, Corey Griffin does a poor job. He just doesn't find the football. Got a little bit in that panic mode of Ford ran by him, so now he's scrambling to try to get there. Ford does a good job of concentrating on the ball with Milton closing. And now a big play for Pitt.
I'm going to tell you something. This is the kind of game that Pitt offensive coordinator Jim Chaney just loves. It's like a chess match. This is a guy who, as a coach, mentored Drew Brees at Purdue. Look at this. How about Tyler Boyd throwing the pass? And it's down to Challingsworth inside the 5. They'll mark him at the 3.
How about this throw? He's being tackled around the waist, and he throws a rifle shot down the field. Boyd gonna catch it. It's a play all the way. He is wrapped up right here and gets a shot right in the face. Watch where this ball hits the receiver. Dead in stride down the field. What a play by Tyler Boyd.
That he is some kind of special. Whatever team gets him in the NFL is going to be just celebrating.
Well, we knew that he was going to touch the football, and they were going to try to get him in a lot of... We didn't know he was going to throw it today. There's another one of those talents that Tyler Boyd brings to the table.
To 13:31.
So they're going to
put 13:31 on the game clock and start on my signal.
They're going to put 4 more seconds on the game clock to 13:31. First and goal at the 2. Olesen comes back into the ball game. Good news for Pitt. Take the big fella. That means straight ahead, no fair dodging. Here he is. Bangs his way down close to the 1. He'll be inside the 1. P.J. Davis met him head on. Now that is man against man.
Yeah, and good to see both those players back on the field. Olesen limped off, as did P.J. Davis. Both of them back on the field. Olesen, the big back. This is usually the play action down, and Jim Chaney wants the play action, but there's so much pride in Pitt with their offensive line and their big back.
Biznawadi, Johnson, Rowe, Office, O'Neal. That's your offensive line. They average 305 pounds. Here they are. Here's the carry. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Pitt. Olesen.
Quadre Olesen talked about the big line in the back and the pride to be able to come downhill and run the football. Broken line play, pull the backside guard, fullback leads up. See that guard pull out, try to get the trap right there, and then Olesen explodes with the big body. 240-pound freshman running back.
Chris blew it for the extra point to tie it. And it's good. And we're tied. 12:40 to play in the first half. Pitt 14, Georgia Tech 14. How about Boyd? Challingsworth. And Olesen. And we're tied.
ACC football is brought to you by Geico, saving people money for over 75 years. By Tire Pros. By your Carolina Ford dealers. And by Haviland, official motor oil of the ACC.
The Georgia Aquarium opened in 2005, features more aquatic animals than any other aquarium in the nation. Sensational. You can see Dave Archer there every Saturday.
Well, Tyler Boyd didn't go there this weekend. He came down here on a business trip, came down here to take care of business, and he just threw a beautiful throw to set up a touchdown. 5 plays, 75 yards. And you talk about Georgia Tech's quick strike. How about that? Pitt's answer to the quick strike of Georgia Tech. Both these offenses are humming right now.
Olesen, 11 carries, 34 yards, 1 touchdown. This game's had 2 ties, 2 lead changes so far. It is entertaining. Here's Jamal Golden. Across the 15, but runs into a whole lot of trouble there. So it's not going to be good field position to start this drive. BC Clemson next week. That's going to be fun. Coming up later today. Let's go back
Hyundai
to
update
Charlotte.
takes us down to Death Valley, where Boston College heads to face number 5 Clemson.
Boston College, the #1 defense in the nation. Deshaun Watson, the Clemson offense will have to work hard for their points tonight.
Kickoff 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. Tim, back to you guys.
All right, Kate, I got a little excited there. That's coming up later. 12:34 to play in the first half here. First down and 10 at the 14. Not good fielded position here for Georgia Tech to start this drive.
Well, this Pitt defense came in number 4 in the ACC, giving up just 265 yards a game. Already given up 224 to Georgia Tech.
How about this play? Quarterback keeper, reverse. Justin Thomas out across the 40, midfield. And knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line by Terrace Webb. Gain of 45 yards.
Well, we heard Grotti talk about how aggressive Justin Thomas might be today. He certainly has been that. This is a design quarterback sweep all the way. Got his big big tackle, Brian Chamberlain, out in front. And here's Ricky June. We saw him catch a touchdown. He's made a block on a touchdown run. Another big block there to free his quarterback.
Georgia Tech has run 12 plays. 6 of them have accounted for 235 yards. Talk about a big play offense. First down, Yellow Jackets. Same play, opposite side. Fool me once. Loss of 1. Tackle by Price.
Yeah, much better job that time by this Pitt defense. Been stellar against the run. Just averaging just 84 yards a game. That's 6th in the country against the run, the Pitt defense.
Second down and 11. Kel Lance-Davis in the ball game now. Here's the pitch to Marshall. Taquan Marshall down inside the 30. That'll get him another first down. Pick up a 14. Big plays keep on coming. Whitehead is there to make the tackle.
Now we talk about assignment football and taking care of your assignment. Georgia Tech's doing a good job of kind of getting up on the linebacker just enough. Here's the linebacker here that gets pinned to the inside, and he's the key guy when you start talking about running the ball to the perimeter. Can you get that inside part sealed? Yeah, that run game mentioned just under 85 yards a game. That's sixth best in the country. They're struggling against Georgia Tech.
Thomas has nowhere to go. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Good job by Kanan Mosley-Smith to make some penetration. He's a big one too, 6 foot 305 pounds. Second down and 11.
A little bit slower pace here, trying to get the right play.
Lance-Davis makes the catch.
Well, this is just a great play by Justin Thomas. They come with a double A-gap blitz. Two linebackers come right through the hole. Thomas loses ground enough to allow Lance-Davis to finish his route and then gets him the football. Roddy, outstanding play by the quarterback and running back there.
It really was, and those guys were on the same page. Lance-Davis saw a space where he could sit down, and he did just that. Justin Thomas did a great job of finding him and putting it right on him, Marsh.
Well, you just love the command that Justin has of the offense.
Third down and 1. JT goes straight ahead, and Thomas has the first.
When you've got a young team on either side of the ball, but when you got a young team that has a bunch of guys that aren't playing very much, and that's certainly what Justin Thomas has got going on around him. There are a number of players at Georgia Tech offense that are learning to play on the job. Their confidence is going to ebb and flow per play. So this is one of the best teams in the country when you get in this part of the field, this red zone area. One of the main reasons is because of their trigger guy.
Scove comes into the ball game at the B-back. Patrick Scove, the senior. This is Lynch. Lynch down inside the 10, down inside the 5. Clinton Lynch, the redshirt freshman.
In talking to this Pitt defensive staff, whether it's Coach Conklin or talking to Coach Narduzzi, they had to go look at a lot of tape to try to get ready for this game. They even went back to some coaches that coached at Iowa that tried to defend this offense in the Orange Bowl years ago. Coach Conklin coached at Wofford. They had the same offense there. They played against it at Georgia Southern. There was a lot of consternation that went into trying to get ready to play today.
But you say this all the time. It's still hard to prepare for this offense in a week. Scove straight ahead. Not going to get to the goal line, but put him down there close in business. Pick up 3.
First time we've seen big fella out of Stanford get a carry down here. And he's the big back, the big power back, 235-pound Patrick Scove, graduate of Stanford.
Averages 4.5 yards a carry. They're not going to give it to him. Scove again. They'll mark him at the goal line. Trying to get his 6th touchdown of the year, but just short.
Scove had to kind of learn this position as he came in, played some fullback at Stanford, did not carry the ball very much. But this is a little bit different animal. You start talking about playing this B-back and this option attack. Done a nice job with Justin.
Straight ahead, Scove, touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
Big Patrick Scove, 235-pounder. This offensive line comes off the ball, moves the line of scrimmage into the end zone, and Scove just leans and gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Scove with his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. It's like to be Scove, Tim, and say, okay, what schools did you go to and interview for a job? Well, I went to Stanford and Georgia Tech. That's pretty good.
And the kick is blocked and still goes through. Still goes through. It's good. 21-14, Yellow Jackets. Skov, 6'1", 235 pounds, pulls his way over. You are watching the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. Also streaming live now on the ACC.com and on the official ACC mobile app. We're on the air every Saturday this fall, starting at noon Eastern with the ACC Blitz. It's powered by Ram Trucks, followed by our 12:30 kickoff. Next Saturday, we'll be in Louisville as Boston College comes on to town to take on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Lamar Jackson, who's playing really well against Florida State right now. Against that Boston College defense. That's going to be a lot of fun. Boston College has Clemson coming up later. Heard that from the studio with their game this afternoon.
Harrison Butker to kick off. Tyler Boyd, one of the most dangerous return guys in the country, although this year he doesn't get many opportunities. He's averaging only 22 yards a kickoff return. That goes through the end zone for a touchback. 7:06 to play in the first half.
We've talked about the All-American Tyler Boyd, and he has been on display today. But here are the numbers that he's kind of chasing and where he's at. But he certainly, hopefully, stays healthy. That's the first thing you knock on wood, stay healthy. But he's going to erase all the records at Pitt as far as wide receivers go. He's 4th all-time in receiving yards. He's a good chance he's going to break the record for receptions in this game. But he's only about 200 yards away from the record in receiving yards as well.
Has 4 catches today. This is Boyd. You talk about him. He makes the 9-yard gain. Boyd with 1 carry, 29 yards, 4 catches for 32, and a touchdown.
And Tyler hadn't done this as much this year as he did in recent years. Just his 5th carry on the year for Tyler Boyd, but we already seen him throw it out of this formation, so you got to be careful about coming up too early. See, P.J. Davis got a little charge out of that big hit right there.
Dontez Ford goes to the top of the screen. Second down and 1 at the 34. And Hall carries it out across the 40 for a gain of 8. Corey Griffin tackles him there.
Well, we talked about the young players for Georgia Tech. This is another young player that's an extremely good player. Young freshman running back. Austintown Fitch, Youngstown, Ohio. The hometown of head coach Pat Narduzzi, where he played his first 3 years of college football under his dad at Youngstown State.
This is only the 10th meeting between these two schools since 1918. Peterman drops, looks, throws in the flat. This is Boyd. That's 5 catches. He needs 2 more to become the all-time leading receiver at Pitt.
That's the command of the offense that you like. And talking to Jim Chaney, offensive coordinator for Pitt, the way Peterman's settling in, he's only got 6 starts. And he was a freshman redshirt at Tennessee when Chaney was running the offense at Tennessee. So he never really played for him, but he understood the playbook. He said he kept the playbook. And when he had a chance to transfer to Pitt, he was excited about the fact he'd reunite with Chaney. And Jim really feels like Peterman's settling in to be their guy.
Second down and 5. Not much there. Now it opens up. This is Hall. Hall's got the first down. Boy, he was patient and waited for that thing to open. He picks up 10 and moves the chains.
Well, I mean, you look at the stable of running backs here. Here comes Darren Hall. We've seen 2, and now Hall running the rock.
I got a chance to talk to running backs coach Andre Powell before the game, and he said that Darren Hall may be the most talented of the 3. He's got the size, the speed, the thing you mentioned, great feet, Arch.
Boy, that was great patience there, too.
Yeah, I love the stable.
Let his eyes move his feet. This is Boyd. Gets to the outside and then tripped up at the 40. Chris Milton again, who's playing a whale of a game in that secondary, comes up and makes the tackle.
How about the imagination of Jim Chaney now for Pitt? He understands he's got some talented set of backs, but he also has maybe one of the best players in America, number 23, Tyler Boyd. How can I get him the football? We've seen short passes. We've seen him hand the football. He's thrown a pass. Jim Chaney really using his All-American in a lot of different ways.
Peterman Rolls right, throws back left, has a man. It's his tight end. Holtz makes the grab inside the 20. J.P. Holtz. Gain of 20.
Well, Holtz is going to benefit because the attention paid Tyler Boyd. Boyd's going to run the deep route and clear everything out, and Holtz going to drag underneath, and there's nobody home for Georgia Tech. Boyd at the bottom of the screen going to clear everything out, and look at the huge hole that Holtz flows into because Boyd vacates that area.
So they move the chains. Pitt continues to move. First down and 10 at the 20.
Boy, I like these tight ends, Tim. J.P. Holtz, Orndorff, Scott Orndorff, two really good pass-catching tight ends.
Wojcik is the quarterback. He comes in. Timeout, Pitt.
Timeout, Pittsburgh.
3:30 to play in the first half. Timeout, Pittsburgh. So with timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Today's coverage of ACC football is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome the men and women of the U.S. Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines stationed around the globe in 175 countries and on the high seas. We're so proud to have you with us and hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I know they're watching us today in Morocco. Aaron and Will Owens are there watching us, and we appreciate what they do for us every day.
Absolutely. Tyler Boyd catching a breather on the side. He's done everything today.
How about this formation? Nate Peterman in the middle of all of it. First down and 10 at the 20 for Pitt. Straight ahead goes Hall. Hall, one of a handful of true freshmen, as Art said, in this game. Averages 3 yards a carry. Ran into big old Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie. One of the great recruits of all time. And he wants to get into that business and help kids come over to America from Australia.
I thought it was really cool talking to him yesterday. He wants to start some kind of an academy or some kind of, he wants to have guys understand they can come to the United States and have success and go to school, and he wants to be a part of getting that started.
Play action. Where's Tyler Boyd? Tyler Boyd over the middle. Touchdown. How about that catch? They'll look at it, too. Was he bobbling it? 17-yard touchdown strike. His second of the day. Caught it right over Corey Griffin. That's 6 catches. He needs 1 more. He's now tied for the record.
Absolutely. That's a big-time grab. This is an unbelievable throw by Nate Peterman. You talk about under pressure, but let's look at Tyler Boyd, the All-American, working against Milton. Milton got a piece of the football with the right hand. Boyd concentrates, gets the feet down, and it's a touchdown.
It is a touchdown, but they'll review it.
Boy, look at him concentrate, know where he is on the field. Watch him check the feet. He's going to look at the ground. Where am I at? Absolutely. Heck of a play by Tyler Boyd.
He's incredible. Folks, you're seeing one of the great players of all time in college sports. Over 1,000 yards receiving in his freshman year and his sophomore year. First player in the history of the ACC to do that. And he's now tied for the all-time reception lead at Pitt. Tied with Devin Street, who had 202 catches between 2010 and 2013. Needs 1 more to break it. So Chris Blewett comes on to attempt the extra point. Every one of these becomes magnified now. This game going back and forth. They need this to tie it. And he does. That looked like a knuckleball. What a game. Timeout on the field. 2:48 left in the ball game. Third tie of the game. Perfect pass. Great catch. And Tyler Boyd's in the record books. They're all surrounded Tyler Boyd, who is now tied for being the most prolific receiver in the history of Pitt football. Ties Devin Street, who had 202 catches between 2010 and 2013.
Yeah, just 2.5 years, and he's chasing Antonio Bryant, another great receiver at Pitt, for the yardage record, which will probably fall. It may fall today the way he's catching the football, but certainly came in about 300 yards shy of Antonio Bryant.
That ball goes into the end zone. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll take you back to Charlotte, the studio. They'll update you on all the games around the country and certainly in the ACC. Let's go back to Charlotte right now and check in with Katie. What we got coming up, Katie?
We got a lot coming up, Tim, on the Hyundai halftime report. In fact, we've got a good game going on down in Tallahassee. Coach and Will are going to break it all down.
I tell you, I've been surprised by the amount of pressure that the front four of Louisville has been able to put on Florida State. Everett Golston, 13 for 20, 150 yards, but harassed all day, Will.
Well, and Florida State has 0 yards rushing right now on 13 carries, so Louisville doing a great job.
That's coming up on the Hyundai halftime report. Make sure to stick around. For now, Tim, we'll send it back to you guys.
Justin Thomas has nowhere to run. Hey, Katie, this is one of the great weekends in college football this year. You mentioned all those ACC games. We also have Michigan, Michigan State, USC, Notre Dame, LSU, Florida. And you'll never see a better half of football, I don't care who's playing, than what we've got right here.
No,
Georgia Tech and Pitt.
And there's the numbers to reflect it, Tim. A lot of offensive football. Both teams are moving it 21-21 right here. With a couple minutes to go here in the first half. Been a lot of fun. Caprera, another nice play. Talk about this linebacker core for Pitt. They're going to have to step up. Caprera did on that last play.
Here's the wide pitch to Lynch. Clinton Lynch around the corner. He's got the first down. He's ridden out of bounds by Lafayette Pitts. Pickup of 17 yards.
I think this is one of the more underappreciated plays that Georgia Tech runs is the toss play. They get a lot of mileage out of it. So much just concentrating on the dive back and the quarterback and running the option. And all of a sudden they hit you with that wide toss play. Big gain there.
Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Georgia Tech trying to take the lead before intermission. Chris Blewett's longest field goal of the year is 48 yards. They're thinking more than a field goal. This is Lynch again. And here come the Panthers swarming all over him.
Oh, what a nice play by Price, the defensive end. Price makes the play. Get that edge block. Can you get the edge blocked? They did not get it done here. Price plays off the block, gets his arms around Lynch, the runner. And then here come a host of Panthers to get him on the ground. But nice play. Here's John Price.
All week long, Pitt defense preaching move the feet, extend the arms, keep the eyes up. Don't let him take you down. Stay in the play. Keep the leverage. Thomas almost got him from behind. He's too quick. Still on his feet out near first down. Paris Webb finally tripped him up. He's quicker than Gossip. Gain of 9.
Paul Johnson takes a timeout.
Hey fans, relive over 60 classic football games, all for free, courtesy of the ACC and your local Toyota dealers. This is the 25th anniversary of Georgia Tech being voted national champions, and the pivotal game for the Yellow Jackets was beating #1 Virginia in early November 1990. Jim Nance and I made that call. Georgia Tech came back from a 10-point deficit to beat Virginia with the last-second field goal there by Scott Sisson, and let the celebration begin. Visit the ACC.com/vault, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Well, it was an amazing game, amazing moment. You were there. Hey, Roddy, do you remember Tim calling that game?
I probably I've heard stories about it. I was still in diapers when Tim was calling that game, so not so sure my memory is so clear. But I've seen the replays.
Easy, boys.
Of it. You did a great job.
Easy, boys. I switched chairs.
Boy, you did a good job on that. It was a heck of a game. Great memories, obviously, for the Georgia Tech faithful and Bobby Ross's team.
Georgia Tech not charged with a timeout. Under a minute to play. 52 seconds left in the half. 3rd down and 1.
Well, that's big because Paul would have been down to just 1 timeout for the Tech if that had not been given back to him.
Defense has to be alert.
Yeah,
looks like they're going to try to get the first down, but if you're in that secondary, hold everything.
Yeah, first down obviously stops the clock. Georgia Tech will rehuddle. They probably have an idea what the play. Paul Johnson probably talked to his offense about what he wants the play to be as soon as the ball is spotted.
Start on the snap, not on the ready for play. Please start the clock on the snap.
So it holds at 52 seconds. He says start the ball on a snap, which is the proper call. Patrick Scove in the ball game behind Justin Thomas. Tech earlier ran a quarterback sneak to get it, and they do it again.
I would think Georgia Tech has a pretty good idea what they want to do right now. They already had a call in the huddle. Shouldn't be a lot of talk here. For Pitt, you got to be careful about the wheel route up the sideline. Justin Thomas rushing near side and the wheel route down the back sideline.
Move the change, start the clock. 38 seconds left for Georgia Tech. Thomas rolls right, looks deep, backside pressure, and he's sacked. He won Price, and Caprera got there, a loss of 15.
Boy, they came with pressure off that backside. It was Price. The corner, Pitts also comes. You see him coming at the top. Just a poor job of sorting that out by the offensive line, and Justin Thomas cannot run away from it.
There is a flag. There's a face mask call. How big is that? Paul Johnson out on the field. He's out inside the markers.
Trying to get his offensive line lined up. They're waving him off the field. He wants his offensive line on the ball.
So erase the 25-yard sack, and let's go back to first down.
Boy, excellent play by Pitt's defense, negated by the penalty.
Keep this in mind now for Georgia Tech. Harrison Butker's longest field goal is 52 yards. That was a 30-yard turnaround by that flag. And Thomas runs out of bounds at the 35-yard line. He'll mark it just inside the 35.
It's an area Justin Thomas really improved in a year ago. Did not throw the ball to the other team. Only 6 interceptions a year ago. Only 3 interceptions this year. As he began to grow into the job a year ago, he realized the value of taking care of the football. He's done a better job of that in the passing game.
Georgia Tech within range for Harrison Butker, the field goal kicker. 16 seconds left. A lot of time for Thomas. And he throws it away with 12 seconds left.
Boy, Pitt getting a lot of pressure up front. That time Soto comes clean. Justin Thomas had no chance to set his feet. Pitt really turning up the heat in the defensive front. Take a look at the pressure up front. Just excellent penetration by Soto, 52.
We saw this last week.
Yeah.
Virginia was driving for the tie or the win, and this defense just slammed the door on them and started going the other way. Help people affected by disasters like floods in South Carolina by making a gift to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief. What a year South Carolina's had. Wow. Your gift enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from disasters big and small. Visit redcross.org/donate or call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation.
Well, you feel for those people over in South Carolina, Tim. We've seen it a lot of different places around the country through the years, but certainly I know a lot of people. I live here in Atlanta. I know a lot of people over in that area that have really struggled with what's going on with the storms and the weather and everything like that.
Not to mention the shooting earlier.
Yeah.
Church. 11 seconds left in the first half. Justin Thomas trying to manage the clock best he can. Throws fast, out of bounds. 7 seconds remaining, and that'll do it. Now they're going to have to, you would think, bring on Harrison Butker, and here he comes.
Oh, too much pressure through the middle on Justin Thomas. He can't hold the football. Pitt really does a good job. They've done a really good job since Georgia Tech crossed the 50 to heat it up, heat up the quarterback, and change his time clock. Good job there.
Harrison Butker just 4 for 6 this year. From this distance, 1 for 1. This will be 50 yards. His longest is 52. His career long is 53. And this one's blocked. And that'll end the first half.
Well, he had an extra point block that somehow got through. This was a lower kick as well, and Pitt's able to elevate and block the kick to keep us tied here at halftime. A good interior penetration, good edge pressure, but it looked like interior penetration is what gets a hand on this football.
See if that's Mosley Smith. Wow, you're right. Look at that penetration. Good call, Arch. What a half of football. Let's go down to Roddy with Coach.
Coach, you talked to us about the need to get some explosive plays. How big were those in the first half for you?
Well, they were good. Offensively, we're playing pretty good. We got to get our defense squared away.
Seems like number 23 for them has been all over the field. What do you have to do to stop him?
Well, we're doubling him on the last touchdown. We came kicks covering with 2 guys.
Thanks, Coach. Almost 600 yards of total offense. Not sure a lot of people would have predicted that coming into this. Katie, I think you've got some experts there in the studio with you. I want to hear what they think.
That's right, Roddy. Thank you very much. Welcome into the Hyundai Halftime Report. It has been a lot of offense, and, Coach, a lot of big plays that we haven't seen from Georgia Tech, but we're seeing early in this game.
Paul Johnson says they're doing pretty good on offense. I'd say pretty good. 13 plays of 10 yards or more, run and pass for Georgia Tech. Now, that comes against a Pitt defense that is 7th in the nation total defense. Total defense means you're not giving up big plays, so great job by Pitt, Will.
The problem is when Pitt has the ball, number 23 is still playing for them. Tyler Boyd is all over the place. He's throwing for touchdowns. He's running for touchdowns. He's catching touchdowns. His concentration is absolutely impeccable at the end of the play. But Tyler Boyd is a do-it-all guy, and so far he is single-handedly keeping Pittsburgh in the ball game.
That was a pretty good trick play where we saw him throw a nice pass. Tyler Boyd, by the way, has tied the all-time career reception record with his former teammate Devin Street with 202. Well, we will be looking all around the ACC when we come back. More Hyundai Halftime Report after this.
What a first half here in Atlanta. Tied at 21, 3 ties, 2 lead changes, 572 yards of offense in this game so far. And Tyler Boyd, is he special? But both teams playing well. That's a half of football.
Yeah, the defensive coaches are banging their heads against the wall in the locker room right now. You mentioned 572 yards of offense. Georgia Tech averaging over 11 yards. Pitt averaging over 7 yards. Defense needs to check in.
Let's take a look at the Duke Energy halftime stats.
Well, you talk about the 2 guys that have really been the impact players. Justin Thomas and what he's done running the football, throwing the football, has a touchdown pass in the game. Tyler Boyd has been everything as advertised. He's thrown it, run it, and caught the beautiful touchdown pass in the back of the end zone to tie the game.
Our Coach's Insight is presented by PNC Bank. Here's Roddy with Karch Noduzzi.
Coach, they had a lot of explosive plays in the first half. What do you have to do in the second half to limit those?
We have to limit them, Roddy. Our guys got to make some plays. They did a great job making some plays on some balls. We had some guys in coverage. They hit one over the middle on Terrence Webb. They hit one on Avonte Maddox, our best corner. They went up, made a play we didn't, in the passing game. But in the run game, we got to control. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about stopping the run. We didn't do a great job doing that, and we made some adjustments. We'll see what happens.
When you talk about making plays, Tyler Boyd made some big ones for you in the first half. How good was he?
Tyler Boyd had a heck of a first half. He's got to have a better second half. I don't know how many catches he had, but he's a football player.
Thanks, Coach. Have a great second half.
Well, Tyler Boyd has been the impact player for Pitt. I give an assist to Nate Peterman. I think he's played well as well, but he could be, we talk about great players. They're great players that play both these schools, Tim, but that guy might be a Hall of Famer one day right there.
Well, at the top of the game, Arch, I said at Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field, we'd have fun today. I mean, it's Hall of Fame weekend, and last night, I know you were there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a great dinner. Brandon Godden, the voice of the Jackets, the voice now of the Jackets, was our host. There's the former voice of the Jackets, Wes Durham, who's a colleague of ours with the ACC and does a heck of a job broadcasting. Fun to be there that last night. There was a lot of great sports athletes there, not just broadcasters and football players. Here's some of those names. Joe Burns, we got a rousing applause from the crowd here at Bobby Dodd. He was a great running back for the Jackets, and just all those names have contributed so much to Yellow Jacket sports.
Boy, this school does have a tremendous history, doesn't it? I mean, you talk about the 4 national championships in football. Pitt has 9, but they also had Coach Heisman here. He was the first full-time coach, first paid coach in the country. You know what he made, Arch?
What did he get?
$2,200. He got 30% of the gate.
Well, back-to-back weekends of seeing some great football players. We were at Pitt last week with their great history, and this week at Georgia Tech.
Well, we're all set. Crest blew it to kick off. Jamal Golden standing at the goal line. This will take him, well, it's going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Let's go down to Roddy. How you seeing it, Roddy?
Tim, coming into the game, I wanted to take a look at this Pitt rush defense against the Georgia Tech rushing offense. Pitt came into the game only giving up about 86 yards a game, but Georgia Tech has gotten off to a great start. Justin Thomas comes out on the double option, and look at this block by the A-back, Mikel Lance-Davis. Allows Marshall to get outside, and he goes for the big touchdown, 58 yards. And then on this one, you got to give some love to the big guys, too. Trey Braun, the left guard, pulls around, chops down the defensive end, and there's nobody else there. Justin Thomas has another blocker, doesn't need him. A great first half for the Jacket offense.
Jackets around the corner. This is Griffin, and Griffin picks up 4 or 5 yards, depending on the mark. Out around the 30-yard line, tackled by Maddox.
Well, there are those numbers that we talked about. This is a Georgia Tech offense that struggled the last 4 games, averaging just about 178 yards. That 271 adds in their first 2 games of the season, but Pitt has been outstanding defensively. But you look at the number for Georgia Tech, already up over 260 yards in the game, and we still have a half a play.
Second down and a long 5 for the Yellow Jackets. Justin Thomas under center. Gives it straight ahead. Well defended. Short of the first down. ACC football is brought to you in HD by your local Tire Pros dealer. Win a VIP trip for 2 to the ACC Championship and win Continental Tires. That's all at TireProsSweepstakes.com.
Marcus Marshall limping off the field, and Patrick Scove checks in. This is a little bit more of his play here on 3rd and 1.
Scove, 6'1", 235-pound bulldozer. As Arch mentioned earlier, transfer from Stanford, graduate.
Pitt trying to cover up the center area. Here come the backers up in there to try to cover up every gap.
Great read by Thomas. Pulls it back, keeps it himself, and gets the first down. Soto will get credit for the tackle, but not soon enough.
Now, this is kind of the pet play in short yardage situations, the follow play, where they fake the handoff, but essentially the fullback is running interference for the quarterback. He just follows behind the fullback to pick up the first down.
Justin Thomas yells out the audible, corrects the play. First down and 10 at the 37. Still reading the defense. The option, and they've got room. This is Lynch, and Lynch with a big gainer. Another first down. Clinton Lynch knocked out of bounds by Pat O'Mara.
Well, Roddy talked about Michael Davis on the outside, number 37. He gets another big block right there. That's what springs Lynch to the outside of the option play. That's the second time we've seen Davis make a block, number 37, to spring the running back.
He's just a pup, too. Mikel Davis is only a true freshman. Both these teams just loaded with young talent. First and 10 at the 47 into Pitt territory. Thomas, late pitch. It's on the ground. Davis covers it up, but it's a loss of 5. See where they officially mark it.
And that one's on Justin. He's going to turn up and get north and south. And the pitch relationship was a little bit more behind him and maybe a little bit further away from Justin than he anticipated. Pitched the ball too far out in front. You look at Georgia Tech's scoring drives in the first half. The long drives, 2 over 85 yards, 175-yarder. But not a lot of time eaten up. That's something that Georgia Tech normally does, is control the clock. They've scored quickly.
Second down, they need 17. Thomas, quarterback draw. He goes down. He'll lose yardage. Bam Bradley got there for the sack, a loss of 4. Actually, that'll just be a tackle. It was a quarterback draw.
Well, here are the linebackers that have to control the run game through the middle. You see the little double A-gap blitz, and they're right there to blow up the play. It looked like that maybe they wanted to run the foot. That looked like maybe a run all the way to for Justin Thomas on a quarterback draw, and they were right there to make the play.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 21.
Well, we saw Marshall limp off, Scove out of the game, and now Marcus Allen, their 3rd of the B-backs, is checked in.
Marcus Allen moved from receiver to B-back. He has 12 carries this year for 70 yards. Thomas with a lot of pressure is going to get sacked again. How about that defense? Shakir Soto makes the tackle for a loss of 10.
This is used to be edge pressure immediately. And really, just nobody blocked anybody that time. This is part of the problem that Georgia Tech's had on and off during the season. And 22 sacks now leads the ACC for Pitt. An excellent job of Pitt just creating havoc, putting the quarterback under duress.
Henderson and Boyd are both back. This is Boyd. Boyd will chase this all the way back inside the 15, looking for a block. Not going to get it. Good coverage by Georgia Tech. 53-yard punt, no return. Tackle made by Goala. Oh, what a great scene down here in Atlanta on a spectacular day for football. Tailgating early. Started with pancakes, went to the burger. Now they got a little something going.
ACC football is being brought to you by New York Life. Keep good going. By PNC Bank. By Hardee's. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Centennial Park, a legacy of the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta. Always a place to visit when you come down to this great city.
They talked about Nate Peterman and the accuracy. Came in and completing almost 68% of his passes. Has had an outstanding day-to-day distributing the football, but an outstanding job of taking care of the ball as well.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Worst start of the day for Pitt. Olison back in the ball game. He's your lone setback. He's your ball carrier. Breaks the tackle and he's loose. The big fellow rambles and rumbles his way down across the 35-yard line. They'll mark him at the 34. Pickup of 18.
We saw Olison limp off the field in the first half with an ankle. He looks pretty good right here as he steps in behind the pulling guard's block and is up the field and into the secondary, and that's exactly the start Coach Narduzzi was hoping for. Get back to that power running game, play action off of that.
Forget that poor starting field position. They bang it out now. It's 1st down and 10 at the 34. Peterman's got some room to work. Keeps it himself, comes around the corner and cuts inside. You don't see that a whole lot, but it's effective. Tackle made by Brant Mitchell.
Well, we looked at Georgia Tech scoring drives. Here's Pitt scoring drives, and they've been equally as impressive. 3 75-yard touchdown drives have eaten up a little bit more time on the clock, but boy, both offenses operated at a high level in the first half, and Pitt starting off that way here in the second half.
Brant Mitchell, that great freshman from Knoxville Webb down in Knoxville. Coach David Meskey's been there for a long time. Done a great job with all those kids. Around the corner goes Olison.
Nice decision there by Quadre Olison, leading rusher for this Pitt offense. A little bottle up to the inside, had the speed to step and bounce to the outside. A lot of different personnel groupings Jim Chaney uses. Tight ends, fullbacks, wide receivers. Now Tyler Boyd, who's been standing on the sidelines for the early part of this drive, back in a 3-receiver set.
1st down and 10 at the 45. Peterman with a count. Quick flanker screen, gets it out to Tyler Boyd. Still on his feet. That's 7 catches. Now he is alone. Tyler Boyd, 7 catches. Now the most prolific receiver in the history of Pitt football. Passes Devin Street, who had 202 catches between 2010 and 13, but Boyd limps off.
Took a big shot right at the end of that. Just the quick screen to the outside. 2 receivers out blocking for him. And just took a big shot right there. As I mentioned, goes past Devin Street for the all-time receptions lead in Pitt history. And just, Tim, it's amazing. 2.5 seasons this kid's played football at Pitt.
It's always fun to see a record. Olsen around the corner. They close down on him and stop him cold. Pickup of 1.
A lot of Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at the hole. 91 Patrick Campbell going to be a part of that big hit. Here, let's take a look at what happens to Boyd. Screen to the outside. Receivers trying to get some blocks. Now he's going to try to create a little bit more on his own. He's kind of twisted there. It looked like he body didn't respond very well to that last little pull and reach.
Jamal Golden had his leg.
This is where Pitt takes pride in that big offensive line with a big running back, Olsen.
3rd down and less than a yard straight ahead. Olsen has the first, pushes the pile out to the 40. Pickup of 6. They only needed a foot. Cordes and Griffin make the tackle. Cordes still hurt, still down. They'll attend to him.
Tyler McCourtis, linebacker, played a ton of football for him a year ago, played in all 14 games. In fact, started 7 of those games, stepped into the starting role with graduation. Quayshawn Neely moved to the next level, and McCourtis stepped right in. He's tied for the team lead and second in team lead in tackles.
You know, earlier in the game, Coach Johnson posed a trivia question. What Georgia Tech coach was named ACC Coach of the Year in his first 2 seasons? The answer, Paul Johnson. For more trivia, download ACC Trivia powered by Duke Energy in your app store today. Coach Johnson has 3 Coach of the Year awards, 2008, 9, and 2014. And if you're worried about him going somewhere, don't. Paul Johnson received a contract extension last December. Recruiting's going well, very well. He can coach, and all is good in Atlanta.
And McCourtis trying to play off the block and get his arms wrapped around the big fullback. So he had the tight end there, J.P. Holtz, at 250 pounds, and try to reach out with his left arm and snag a 240-pound running back coming at him.
So it's 1st down and 10 at the 41 for the Panthers. Pitt came down to Atlanta trying to prove they're for real, trying to stay in the hunt for the Coastal. Well defended for Olsen, goes down after a gain of 0. Got back to the line of scrimmage and they closed the door, slammed it. Adam Gotsis playing a terrific game, was there to take him down, the captain of the defense.
Yeah, Gotsis did an excellent job, and so did Freeman, number 42, coming off the edge. Freeman, one of those guys that played a lot of football a year ago as the defensive end, a freshman. He comes in as a veteran, just as a sophomore. He had a little hand in the play as well.
Pitt goes big. Play action, in trouble, throw the pass, incomplete. That's actually a good pass. It was intended for Orndorff. Looked like he was just throwing it away because Gotsis was coming after it.
Gotsis needed to step up a little bit. We talked to him yesterday, and he does here. Nice little swim move, going to get in the face of Peterman, not allow him to set his feet, created the errant throw. His parents are here. Oh, so there's his twin sisters. Little brother here, the family from down under.
Tyler Boyd, bottom of the screen, now in motion. Peterman steps up, flag flies, incomplete. That's thrown in the area they normally call holding. These are 2 of the least penalized teams in the country.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 69, offense.
That's Adam Bisnawati.
Penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Bisnawati, the closest guy to you here on the side. You see the hands of the face right there. Kept him in the hands of the face into Freeman, the sophomore defensive end.
He got one back, too. So that'll force a punt. Pitt now has 3 penalties. Georgia Tech has 2. Winslow with a high knuckleball. This will hit inside the 10 and be down at about the 8. Ryan Winslow does a great job with the pooch punt. 33 yards, but very effective.
Well, both offenses run up and down the field in the first half, and all of a sudden the defense is trying to settle in here in the second half.
Memory of Heisman and Broyles. Bobby Dodd Stadium, historic Grant Field on Hall of Fame weekend. 5:44 remaining in the third quarter. Terrific first half. We're tied at 21. Not much going on yet here in the second half.
You take a look at the numbers and where the run has gone. Not much through the middle.
Justin Thomas escapes, and he was in serious trouble and knows it.
Georgia Tech and the offensive line really having a tough time sorting out the pressure looks from Coach Narduzzi's off. Here comes the pressure over here.
Caprera and Werginnis came hard.
Yeah, Justin Thomas did a really good job of throwing the ball in the direction of one of his receivers, so he didn't get called for anything there.
Second down and 10. Georgia Tech backed up to the 8. Thomas with time, incomplete, intended for Ricky June, but it went through his hands.
It's a little too tall, Tim. That's a 6'3" wide receiver, and if he can't get it, there are not many people in the building that's going to get it.
So it brings up third down, Arch, and it looks like Pitt, if they can make a stop, we get pretty good field position.
Well, it's exactly where you want to put Georgia Tech's offense is third and long. Anytime they can kind of dictate to you and getting third and short, they're in their wheelhouse. But now Pitt has done a great job of digging a hole for the Georgia Tech offense.
Pitt defensive coordinator Josh Conklin, he loves the attacking style of defense. Here's the tackle that's short, so it looks like Pitt will have pretty good field position. Pick up a 5, not enough for the first. Javante Pitts with a good short open field tackle.
A good series of downs for back-to-back series of downs for this Pitt defense. They've created a couple of punting situations for Georgia Tech to start the second half.
Ryan Rodwell to punt for Georgia Tech. Tyler Boyd and Henderson are standing at the 45-yard line. This is going to be a short punt. Boyd puts it on the ground but gets it back. 36-yard punt. But this drive for Pitt will start in Georgia Tech territory. You don't see this very often from Tyler Boyd. He doesn't put it on the ground very much. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Hey, sports fans, do you have what it takes to be a sports reporter at the ACC Football Championship game? The ACC Digital Network is looking for a guest reporter to join their production team on site in Charlotte. No experience necessary. All expenses paid. Deadline is October 31st. Enter today at theacc.com/guest reporter. What a great weekend that is, huh? And what a great game this has been. 21-21 tied. Best starting field position for Pitt. 4:51 to play in the third. And Olison is still your tailback. Peterman drops, throws it out of bounds, throws it away. Let's go back to Charlotte, check in with Katie.
Thanks, Tim. Our Hardee's update takes us back to Tallahassee. Everett Golson finds Travis Rudolph. That's a 13-yard touchdown catch. Florida State pulling away 34-14 in the fourth quarter, guys.
All right, Katie, thank you very much. Look at this Pitt offense. You think of Dan Marino, Tony Dorsett, Larry Fitzgerald, Craig Hayward. Boy, they've had some players, haven't they? Big old Mark May, Jimbo Covert, Billy Freilich. Wow. 9 national championships. Olison tiptoes his way across the 45 down to the 43. Pick up a 6.
And you see the versatility of Olison there, being able to sidestep a defender right there in the hole. There's Boyd. How many times he's seen the ball? He's caught 7, thrown at him 9 times. He likes when he sees the Georgia Tech helmet in the building. Last year he had 9 catches for 137 yards against Georgia Tech, so he likes playing the Jackets.
Averaging about 10 catches a game against the Jackets. Good call, Arch. Third down and 4 from the 43. Little swing pass to Olsen. Sidesteps one, gets a blocker. Got some room, got the first. Down to the 35-yard line. That play developed nicely. E.J. White was just pushed aside. Never really got a hand on him.
Well, this is actually, it's going to be 15 A.J. Gray in the flat that's going to miss him, Tim. One of those freshmen you and I heard about yesterday. Another freshman, Olsen, steps around him and steps up the field. So two freshmen that are probably going to see each other for a few years. And Olsen wins the battle there. Nice. He's shown in the back-to-back plays his ability to, the quick feet to step away from the defender.
First down and 10 for the Panthers. Peterman rolls right, tucks it, goes inside the 30 and down inside the 25. Close to a first down. Cortez and Davis are there.
Love the decision-making of Peterman. Talked about how he's settling in. Jim Chaney's talked about how he just seems to really have grasped what we're doing. Takes care of the football here. He has not thrown an interception in over 10 quarters of football now. Didn't force the football. Understands they're deep in Georgia Tech territory. Love the decision-making, Nate Peterman.
Nate Peterman's dad loves to tell the story about when Peterman was playing Pee-wee football. They had him at center. He didn't want to play, wanted to quit. Eventually they moved him to quarterback. He's been there ever since. Here he is with the give straight ahead. Big hole, good save. Shoestring tackle. Chungun made the tackle. Pick up a 5. Rod Rook, Chungun.
Yeah, a little slow getting up. A little slow getting up to him. He's going to come off the field.
Silver Spring, Maryland, played for Bobby Malloy up there at good counsel. Terrific coach, one of the greatest in high school football.
Now, when you get a short field like this, you got to cash it in, and Pitt's certainly trying to get that done.
Second down and 5 at the 19. Olsen. A yard short of the first, picks up 4. But he's down to the 15-yard line. Deshaun Freeman.
Well, I've really been impressed with Olsen in this drive. We've seen a lot of tape on him, saw him last week some, but he's shown his ability to move his feet. He's a big back, got to the backside cutback hole, done a nice job. Pitt's been really good. He's done a nice job. How good has Pitt been in the red zone today? 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
This is a big third down here. Chris James comes into the game for Pitt.
Tyler Boyd lined up at the I-back spot.
Third down and 1 for the Panthers. The pitch. First down the sidelines. How about that? Chased out by White. Tyler Boyd continues to impress.
There's Boyd lined up in the eye, fake the dive play, little option pitch to the outside. You get Brian O'Neill, the big tackle out in front. Boyd steps on the accelerator and he shoves it inside the 10-yard line.
Tyler Boyd, 6'2", 200-pound junior's got that little extra gear that he throws it into. Silky smooth. First down and goal for Pitt. Peterman throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. J.P. Holtz with the touchdown catch. His 3rd of the year.
Tim, it's amazing, these 2 tight ends. They don't catch the ball a ton. When it comes their way, they do catch it. But coming into the game, Orndorff and Holtz had caught 15 passes, 5 for touchdowns. Here's another touchdown to add the mix for the tight ends. All they do is catch touchdowns.
After a shootout in that first half, it's been fairly quiet here in the second half, and these points and yards are hard to come by. Blewett for the extra point, and it's good. That was good from the get-go. There is a flag down.
Rough the kicker there. Milton came off the edge. He has 7 block kicks in his career, and rough the kicker.
That could be big. They'll mark it on the kickoff.
Running into the kicker, number 6. Penalties decline. We'll go to the kickoff. The point was good.
Point's good.
Coming in, and always want to take care of those kickers. They're in a vulnerable position there. Here's the touchdown. Little play fake. Had Tyler Boyd coming across the backfield, and it looked like maybe a reverse, but J.P. Holtz. These 2 tight ends, just all they do is just catch the ball every time it's thrown their direction. Holtz, another touchdown. his 3rd of the year, but his 5th of his career. I'm sorry, his 10th of his career. I apologize. There's a scoring drive. Short field, 49 yards. Ate up some time off the clock. Showed a variety of plays. Excellent job putting the ball in the end zone.
Peterman putting in small windows. Let's go back to Charlotte. Check in with Katie.
This update takes us back to Tallahassee, where Louisville keeps fighting back.
They really do. What a beautiful throw by Lamar Jackson to James Quick. 39-yard touchdown reception, and Louisville just hanging in there.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you. Chris Bloom will kick off. Jamal Golden standing at his goal line. Golden will have a chance to return it. No, he downs it for the touchback. Reminder to help people affected by disasters like floods in South Carolina by making a gift to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief. Your gift enables the Red Cross to prepare for, respond to, and help people recover from disasters big and small. Visit redcross.org/donate or call 1-800-RED-CROSS or text the word Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation.
Well, this Tech offense now has been stopped the last 2 times they've been on the field after they had pretty much had their way in the first half.
Here's the give straight ahead. Big hole. Marshall's loose. Marshall's still loose. This is Marcus Marshall, the freshman. Grigsby finally knocked him out of bounds, but it's a pickup of 58 yards for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, Marcus Marshall had a monster first game as a Yellow Jacket against Alcorn State. Had 184 yards rushing in that game, and this is the guy that I think the Jacket fans remember. He hasn't been as effective the last couple of weeks. Excellent job of blocking, getting the middle linebacker block. Let's go to Roddy.
Arch, up until that play, Pitt had done a great job of stopping the B-back up the middle. That's really the first thing they've gotten going, handing the ball off for Georgia Tech. Marcus Marshall with a big run up the sideline.
What a great stiff arm by Marcus Marshall. 5 carries, 128 yards now. They pitch it back. Here's Lance Davis, and Lance Davis is down close to the 10-yard line before Avante Maddox makes the tackle after a game of 7, and that'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. We're going to the final 15 minutes. Quarter number 4, Hall of Fame weekend, Georgia Tech. The Ramblin' Wreck, trailing 28-21, but on the move. Our 3rd quarter stats are brought to you by Flonase.
Well, you look at the rushing yards for Georgia Tech starting to add up. They're hitting some big plays, but look at the bottom, 15 plays or more. Both teams making big plays on their offensive side of the football, and that's why we're at 28-21, and Georgia Tech trying to push this in to tie the game. High-scoring game, both offenses operating at a high level.
Right now, Pitt's defense trying to cause congestion. 2nd down and 3. And they're going to lose yardage. Caprera makes another big play for the Pitt defense.
That's a good set of linebackers. Caprera played a lot last week. Grigsby got hurt. Caprera coming in on this side, just knifes through and takes care of the quarterback, puts him on the ground. A little bit more pressure out of the linebackers. Coach Conklin, the defensive coordinator, bringing a little bit more of that linebacker pressure, creating problems in decision-making for Justin Thomas.
This series dates back to 1918. 3rd down and 5 from just outside the 12. Timeout. Trying to make a call, but was running out of the play clock. Like he was trying to change some things.
Well, and I'm not sure Justin's feeling very good either. He looked like he was a little banged up. 7-point game in Atlanta.
ACC football is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. By Progressive Insurance. By Koch Industries. And by Bojangles. It's Bo time.
Sensational weather and a beautiful day on campus. Georgia Institute of Technology, one of the nation's top research universities, And the Yellow Jackets trying to engineer a third down play here. Third down and 5.
Something Georgia Tech likes to do is they like to take the A-back and run him on the wheel route here on 3rd and 5, especially down here close, with Pitt crowding the line of scrimmage against the run.
Here's the pitch, trying to get the corner. Did he get there? This is going to depend on the mark. It's close. Clinton Lynch, the ball carrier.
Well, I think that's one of my favorite plays that Georgia Tech runs. They run this triple option stuff, and you see back and all that, but they run this wide toss play, and the back is so wide by the time the ball snapped, they've completely outflanked the defense.
First and goal at the 7. He got the first just barely. Picked up 5. He needed 5.5. Actually gave him a pretty good mark. First down and goal. Here's Thomas. The handoff straight ahead. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Marcus Marshall again. The freshman. How do you do?
You show flow to the wide side of the field. You got a guy in motion that pulls the defenders wide enough to create the crease. Offensive linemen are able to get to the second level, get the linebacker's block, and Marshall walks into the end zone.
Pitt's been able to get their hands on 2 kicks so far. That one's busted through, and we're tied again, the 4th tie of the game. Marcus Marshall, a freshman, 5'10", 209 pounds. Yes, sir, we're tied. You are watching the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. It's also streaming live now on the ACC.com and on the special ACC mobile app. You know, we're on the air every Saturday this fall, starting at noon Eastern with the ACC Blitz. It's powered by Ram Trucks, and that's followed by our game, 12:30 kickoff. Next Saturday, we'll be in Louisville as Boston College, with that stingy defense, takes on the very, very dangerous Cardinals.
Well, we talk about Lamar Jackson against that defense. How about the linebacker play? Daniels and Milano for Boston College, and Burgess and Kelsey, the 2 linebackers for Louisville. Man, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a slobber knocker, as you like to call it.
Here's Butker with the kickoff. Got 13:35 to go in this one, and here is Tyler Boyd to the 10, the 15, gets a block. Tyler Boyd around the corner to the 30 and goes out of bounds at the 31, 32-yard line. ACC Football Championship weekend in Charlotte is December 4th and 5th. On Friday, the ACC Night of Legends event will honor this year's Legends class, including Pitt's Tony Dorsett and Georgia Tech's Bobby Ross. For tickets to the Night of Legends event, game tickets, and a whole lot more, on details for the ACC Football Championship weekend, visit theacc.com/FCG tickets. Chris James in the ball game now for Pitt at tailback. They give it to him, and look out into the second level and out close to midfield. Chris James with the carry, stopped by A.J. Gray. Pickup of 17 yards. This has been a game of big plays.
Well, such a good change of pace. We saw the big back Allison came in, and he's got that certain pace that he runs at. And then all of a sudden you bring in James, a little bit quicker of foot, steps through the hole and steps on the accelerator and shoves the ball near midfield. But just a nice job of switching the backs up.
Nate Peterman keeps it himself. Down to the 45-yard line and into Georgia Tech territory. Gamble makes the tackle. Let's go down to Roddy. Check on how's Tyler Boyd look from that level. He's spectacular.
It's even better at field level, Tim. It's been fantastic. And Jim Chaney talked to us this week about wanting to get Tyler Boyd more targets. He said he draws so much attention that it's tough to not use him as a decoy at times, but he's done a great job of targeting the big-time receivers so far in this game.
I asked Jim Chaney, how do you get it to him more? He says he can't throw it to himself. Second down and 4. Here's James. Well defended, no gain. P.J. Davis again, the tackle. Big Big old number 40, 230 pounds.
Now this game's going to come down now as we get inside 12 minutes here, fourth quarter. Which defense is going to find a way to bow its back? Both offenses have moved the ball very effectively, both on the ground and through the air. Which defense can make a stop and create an opportunity for their offense to get a foothold?
This is a big third down play here. 3rd and 4 to 45 for Pitt. Peterman looks left. Finds himself in trouble and throws it incomplete. Out of bounds. Orndorff made the catch, but he was out of bounds.
Well, good pressure by Georgia Tech initially, and then a really good job of Peterman trying to keep the play alive. But just excellent job by the back end of the coverage here and forcing really a tight throw along the sideline. Looked like the feet were
that's close.
Inbounds. Did he maintain the catch to the ground? That's the question for me. It certainly looks like the left foot is the right foot. Ooh, boy, that left foot
really
looks
close.
Yeah, the left foot looks like it might be on the line, but the right foot's certainly in. Another one of those scissors. The tight ends. I love these two tight ends. Orndorff trying to work back to his quarterback, but call was incomplete on the field. Do we have something definitive that would tell us that Orndorff kept the feet in bounds?
There's the catch. Bam.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
I just think it was really difficult to see where the left foot was because the right foot was clearly in, but he was dragging the left foot. It was really close to that white line.
Narduzzi kept looking up at the big screen to see the play. They had a cartoon on there.
Well, had it been called a completion, I'm not sure they've been able to flip that over either.
Ryan Winslow pooches this thing end over end. Inside the 10. Golden with a fair catch. So Georgia Tech made its defensive stop. Now we'll see if Pitt can do the same. 11-13 to play in the ball game. Pitt comes into this game with a record of 4-1, tied at the top of the Coastal with a 2-0 record. Georgia Tech 2-4, 0-3 in the Coastal, but trying to make a splash and climb back into it. We've got 11-13 left, partner.
How about the offensive numbers? Over 775 yards of offense, 6 for 6. Red zone. Justin got a little banged up on that last series. We have to keep an eye on him. You certainly don't want to put a freshman quarterback in a game in this situation.
Little tricky play. This is Marcus Marshall. He's got a first down. Ball on the ground, but they get it back. Pick up a 14 yards.
Like Javonte Pitts, who made a play deep in Georgia Tech territory last time against Marshall. 26 Pitt's going to rake the ball out. And Marshall, lucky he was able to fall back on the ball. He's got a quarterback a little banged up. Nice to be able to hand it to a guy and let him pick up a first down and get it out of the shadow of your own goalpost.
Club it, punch it, rip it, doing everything to get that ball out. First down and 10 at the 23. Defense is swarming. Mosley Smith takes down Marcus Marshall. Gain of 0. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, KK Mosley Smith just swelled up in the hole right there and said, no, not on my gap. Just crushed the run play. No gain.
Our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by YP.com. The even more powerful yellow pages. One app, one site. YP can do that. 2nd down and 10 at the 23. Here comes the blitz. Here comes the run for a gain of 3. Marcus Marshall getting a pretty good workout now, but Shakir Soto manned up and took him down.
Really trying to come with the edge pressure and go down to Roddy. Roddy, looks like that there's more commitment to edge to try to take away the perimeter game and letting those inside backers take the B-back.
You're exactly right, Arch. The Pittsburgh defense got burned a little bit on the outside in the first half. I think the adjustment that Pat Narduzzi was talking about that they made at halftime was to make it an interior game, and they've done that. Georgia Tech's been able to hit a couple big plays, but for the most part, they've been stumped by this Pitt defense.
3rd down and 7. Thomas into the flats. It's complete to Marshall. Flags fly, and Marshall's across the 30. Tripped up by Patamara. Gain of 6. See what the flag is.
That Lynch was blocking before the ball was caught down the field.
Pass interference, offense, number 49. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat the down.
You're right, Arch. It was Clinton Lynch.
They wanted to slip Marshall out into the left flat, and they knew that Justin was probably going to go there with the ball all the way. So Marshall going to block. Here, receiver's going to come up the field. And they're going to engage. Freeze right here. Here's the block right here, and the ball hadn't even caught. Now the throw is down the field. Had the ball been thrown in the backfield, that's okay, but the ball was downfield. That's it. That's pass interference.
So it brings up a long situation now. 3rd down and 20. Michael Summers in the ball game at the bottom of your screen. He had a big catch in the first half. Ricky June at the top of the screen is your leading receiver. Big hole. Well defended. Not back to the original line of scrimmage. Marcus Marshall is tripped up by Grigsby. Gain of 7.
Well,
put it away.
That's a heck of a series of downs by Pitt's defense. Now they were aided a little bit with the penalty, but excellent job of getting off the field and keeping Georgia Tech pinned. This is the 2nd time that they've pinned Georgia Tech deep in their own territory here in the second half. Last time they got a short field, they cashed it in for a touchdown.
This is a knuckleball. Tyler Boyd will go back and put it on the ground again. He gets it back. That's 2 for him today. Let's take you back to Charlotte. Check in the studio.
Thanks, Tim. Our Hardee's update takes us to Tallahassee, where Florida State ran away with this. It's Dalvin Cook, a 54-yarder coach, and he had a big day.
Continues to be one of the nation's top running backs, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Florida State 6-0 on the season. The Cardinals 1-2 in the ACC, guys.
All right, Katie, thanks.
Dalvin Cook, 200 yards rushing a week ago against the U, over 160 yards. Kid just keeps putting up the numbers.
See what Nate Peterman can do at quarterback. 1st down and 10 Pitt. Hall is his setback. Big hole, right side. Pickup of 8.
Well, you love the confidence that Pitt has in all their runners. Here's the freshman, Aaron Hall has stepped in. We've seen Ollison, the other freshman. Chris James has run the ball. Just all 3 backs very effective. That one just straight ahead with that big offensive line, creating the crease.
P.J. Davis has a hitch in his giddy-up, injured leg. They started to send out Alexander, Victor Alexander, the freshman. P.J. Davis says, no, sir, I'm not coming out. So 40 stays in the game. Second down and short. Again, the run. Hall is hit immediately by Brant Mitchell. First down, change move, rivalry mode in the ACC Quarterback Challenge app is heating up. Pittsburgh is currently leading Georgia Tech 62% to 38%. Here's the question, which fan base will pull out the victory? Download ACC Quarterback Challenge. It's presented by Coyote Tractor. Make sure your team comes out on top.
I think that Pitt really feels like they're controlling the line of scrimmage. This run game will continue to be featured until Georgia Tech can stop it.
New set of downs for Pittsburgh. And Hall gets taken down after a short gain, 3, maybe 4.
This is where Pitt, to me, it can be more dangerous than some teams you'll see. There's offensive coordinator Jim Chaney. Because their tight ends are such good pass receivers, they could stay in what looks like a run set, keep you in your base set, so Nickel's not in the game, an extra defender to defend the pass, and then you can throw it to your tight ends.
Jim Chaney's like a kid in a candy store. He's just loving this. He's got his play sheet. He's got his game plan. I told you earlier he mentored Drew Brees at Purdue. Loves these little chess matches. Straight ahead, big hole. Out close to a first down goes Darren Hall. Gain of 5. He'll be a yard short. Patrick Gamble stopped the first down charge.
Just coming off the ball with high formation, ISO straight ahead. 10 Roof barking out the instructions for this Georgia Tech defense from upstairs. They're going to get big people on the game. He's trying to get the right personnel in the game. Here comes Hunt Days, a 300-pounder. Alexander, 230-pound linebacker.
Yellow Jackets fans on their feet. 3rd down and 1. Stopped him. Didn't get it. He's going to be short of the first. They stopped Darren Hall cold.
Well, from where we're sitting, it looks like he's about a football short of the first down, Tim. Had to reach the Georgia Tech side of the 49-yard line, and it's marked short of that. So now it'll be up to Coach Pat Narduzzi looking right down the line at what's going on.
I didn't even think it was that close, Arch.
Yeah, it's about a football's length short, looks like to me.
Yep, you would think. Yeah. Yep.
Now the offensive line for Pitt saying, let's go. Let's win the game right here. We want to keep the football. Boy, they're pointing to the sideline. We want to go. And they've convinced their head coach to do that.
Again, that offensive line averages 305 pounds. Biznawadi, Johnson, Rao, Officer, O'Neal. That's your offensive line. And they're being challenged right here.
Pitt's going to take a timeout and talk it over. Get the right play in or make the right decision more than anything else.
Tied at 28, 5-11 to play. Pitt is looking for its first 5-1 start since 2009. How about that? They're going to challenge the spot.
Now, this is a tough one because the ball's run into the middle. It's one thing if you got something to the perimeter where you can check where a guy's knee went down, but this ball is run into the interior of the line. It's very difficult to see where the football is in respect to where the player is and covered up by defenders. See if we can see here. Interior run game straight ahead. Dips the head. See, it's just no way to tell where the ball is. Very difficult to tell. Is there anything there that's going to change what you think of where the ball spot? You can't. Interior, very difficult to make that decision. Boy, you talk about some physical play there on both sides of the ball, trying to get a foot.
There's some meat involved. Ted Roof.
And he was praying they were going to punt it right here.
After the ruling on the field stands, it's 4th down. Pittsburgh is charged with a timeout and has lost their right to challenge for the remainder of the game.
Lost the right to challenge for the rest of the game. Big offensive line now says, let's go for it. Pitt's going for it.
I don't think you change anything. I think you give it to the big back straight ahead.
Rules of this play, straight ahead, no fair dodging. First down, Pitt. They needed one, they got 2.
But you love as a head coach when your offensive line yells over at you, we got you on this. Let us have one more shot at it. And they let Ollison at 240 pounds push it up there. Pat Narduzzi applauding his team.
You know he's invested and certainly emotional. Tyler Boyd in the backfield. They fake it to him, and Peterman carries for a pretty good gain. Take a look at our ACC standings brought to you by Belk. This is why it's so important. Look at that left-hand column. 2 top teams, Duke and Pittsburgh, 2-0 in the Coastal.
Yeah, and they'll get together here a few weeks down the road, but certainly North Carolina sitting in a good spot. When you look at the Atlantic side, Florida State took care of their business. Clemson about to engage in their battle with Boston College. Those 2 teams are headed on a collision course a couple weeks down the road.
Second down and a long 5. They keep moving Boyd. This time they give it to him. Stops on a dime, gives him 9 cents change. He crosses the 40-yard line before McCordez makes the tackle.
Good play by Freeman. The number 42 Freeman going to get up the field and cut Boyd off and force him back to the inside where he knows he's got a lot of help. McCourtis and Gotsis are able to put him on the ground. Here we go, another big third down, and Pitt is not in field goal range, so another big play here.
This is third down and a very long two. It's loud in here now. Play action on the waggle. Now he looks to throw back and overthrows him, incomplete.
Well, what a good job by Georgia Tech. Play fake, trying to slip the tight end out one way, Ford the other way, and just could not find anybody. Freeman with the pressure, and finally Peterman does the right thing and throws the football away, so he preserves the opportunity for this offense to go again.
What do you think about this, Arch? I think I'd punt it, pooch it, and try to depend on my defense. They're going for it. At least they appear to be.
More often than not, you want to win the football game with the ball in your own hands. You don't want someone else dictate to you.
Fourth down.
Another
timeout, Pitt.
Yeah, another timeout.
3 minutes and 9 seconds remain. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. 3 minutes, 9 seconds remain in the ball game. We're tied at 28. It's fourth down and 2 for Pitt. Just inside the 40-yard line in Georgia Tech territory.
Well, Tyler Boyd would be the guy that you'd probably think might get the football. He splits down at the bottom of the screen in a 3-receiver set right here.
Pitt 4 of 6 this season on fourth down. Push out, Tyler Boyd, first down. Took it inside, then pushed back to the outside.
Well, Boyd does a good job. He's going to come in motion. They're trying to create a little bit of a pick play for him, but it doesn't work out, so he just does a good job of pivoting off of the DB here, and a good throw by Peterman to wait on him. He had to wait. That was the design of the play. Get the ball to Boyd.
7 for 9 on first down conversions this year. 2:38 remaining. Boy, it's tough going in there now for Olesen. Good job by Brant Mitchell. How good is he going to be, the true freshman?
Well, if you begin to think about Chris Blewett, who's a solid kicker, he's 12 of 16 in his career, 40-plus yards. His career long is 52, and you're inside that number right now if you're Pitt.
They need to get down to the 35. Lewett's long is 52 yards, so they need to get to the 35. This is second down and 8.
Full start, number 70 offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
O'Neal, the call. Only third penalty for Pitt today. Under 2 minutes to play, and the clock continues to move.
Well, that penalty moves him beyond the number for Blewett. We talked about 52 yards career long, so.
Here's the give to Olesen, and they take him down for a loss. Great play by Tyler McCourtis.
Well, McCourtis does an excellent job, a one-on-one tackle.
Timeout, Georgia Tech.
Number 35 going to step up on the edge, play off the block. And a good job, McCourtis making the play right along the line of scrimmage.
Hey, fans, feeling like a champion today? Tire Pros is giving you the opportunity to be one with the Tire Pros Road to the Championship Sweepstakes. Enter for a chance to win a VIP trip for 2 to the ACC Championship game and a new set of Continental tires. Enter today at thetireprossweepstakes.com.
Well, Georgia Tech made a trip to the conference championship game a year ago, had a classic battle with Florida State, came up just a bit short. Pitt obviously trying to find a way to win this game on the road and keep themselves in position to potentially take a trip to Charlotte.
Orange Bowl champions, first time since 1951. As you look at Pat Norduzzi.
Well, the key here for Peterman now, if they do allow Peterman to throw the ball, is he obviously can't take a sack. They're right on the edge of field goal range.
3rd down and 12.
Oh, that's a flag. Too many people were in the huddle.
Aston didn't get off the field in time.
No, he got off the field. He was in the huddle. There were too many people in the huddle. That's a penalty. Had too many people on the field. That's what Paul Johnson was out near the numbers screaming, saying, hey, wait a minute. They broke the huddle with too many guys. The conversation now is about a guy that ran off the field.
That's Aston.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Tim, Aston, the fullback, runs off the field.
There is no foul on the play. There was 11 players for Pittsburgh. It's 3rd down.
No flag. They pick it up. It's still 3rd and 12 at the 36.
He's under further review.
Yeah, they've got to review this because there's 11 on the field now, but the 12th is standing over on the sideline. He ran off the field. Paul Johnson saw it and ran out on the field and was waving his arms around. And finally, there was an official. Let's see if we can count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys. The 12th is going to run off right there. There goes Aston, the fullback. He's the 12th player. And that was what Paul Johnson wanted taken care of. So now all of a sudden, if it is the penalty, which we think we saw a 5-yard penalty, that's going to move them out of even remotely field goal range for Blewett. And now Peterman's going to have to make a play.
Boy, that's big, too, when they call this.
Yeah, I think if you didn't get a yardage here, you would consider going ahead and let Blewett kick it from about 53. We talked about 52 in his career long. But with the penalty, they're out of field goal range.
After review, at one time, Pittsburgh did have 12 players in formation. Therefore, there will be a 5-yard penalty for an illegal substitution. It will be 3rd down. The clock is correct and will start on the snap.
That's big. Like 3rd and 17 now from the 41.
And so now the thought process for Peterman and for Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, is I need to try to get Blewett back in field goal range. We talked about Tyler Boyd, and why not one more time? Boyd lined up at the bottom of the screen right here.
Man-to-man coverage, Chris Milton. Peterman looks for him. Now tucks it and he's in trouble. And it'll bring up 4th down and long.
Timeout by Georgia Tech. Paul Johnson ran out on the field to make sure that he had the time to potentially have his offense work.
Paul's spending as much time on the field as he is on the sideline.
He wanted Boyd along the sideline. Georgia Tech did a good job of taking it away. Peterman said, I'm going to protect the ball. Here's Tyler Boyd running the comeback. I thought he had him right there, but he just didn't like the look as Milton closed from the backside. And so he decided to keep the football and take care of it and punt the ball.
Let's take a look at the AP Top 25. It's brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
Duke jumped in there at 25. Great job. They're off this week. Back in action next week. Of course, Florida State taking care of their business today against Louisville. Clemson got a big one coming up against the #1 defense in the country in Boston College later.
So it's 4th down and 14 from the 38-yard line. This field goal by Chris Blewett will be 56 yards, which is beyond his long. And it's good. And it's good. Just barely made it. Chris Blewett with the field goal. How about that?
Boy, and Adam Gotsis looked like he got penetration and had a chance to block it, but Blewett hammered it.
56 yards for Chris Blewett, career long.
Gotsis penetrates, but Blewett just drilled it just enough over the crossbar from deep.
How about this angle? Still good. Career long. How about that?
He is now 13 of 17 in his career as a Panther punter from 40-plus yards.
What a battle today at Bobby Dodd Stadium. They're lighting up historic Grant Field.
Well, now because Georgia Tech thought that, okay, we've pushed the kicker out of range, we're going to burn timeouts. Georgia Tech didn't have any timeouts left. They used all their timeouts in that sequence defensively to try to conserve some time, thinking the Blewett was probably out of range.
71 seconds left.
Now, Golden has 2 kickoff returns in his career for touchdowns. They both came back in 2012 when he was just a youngster, but he does have the speed.
Golden's going to bring it out. Looks for a gap. He's out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 1:04 remaining in the ball game. George Aston made the tackle, another freshman.
Well, obviously the comfort zone in this part of the game for Georgia Tech, dropping and throwing the ball every down, is not what you would like it to have. But this is a mobile quarterback. Justin Thomas will look to try to make the play down the field, but Pitt's got to be careful about getting so caught up in covering that they don't take care of the quarterback.
Blewett's 56-yard field goal is the longest in Pitt history. It gives them that lead. Thomas rolls, throws, picked off and dropped. Oh, Grigsby had it in his hands. Looked like it was intended for Grigsby.
Just a sprint out play, trying to get a receiver isolated. Looked like Summers isolated on the sideline, and man, unbelievable play.
That right there could have been game, set, match. Second down and 10. Scove comes into the ball game. Thomas with pressure. He's getting around the corner, still being chased. And there's a flag, and that's going to be clipping against Georgia Tech. Two flags down.
Illegal block in the back. Number 78. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
This just it's an uncomfortable situation. It's not something Georgia Tech does a lot of, and just really a poor choice there by Trey Braun, the block in the back there. Now they've created even a deeper hole for this Georgia Tech offense.
Justin Thomas only 3 of 9, 73 yards and a touchdown. 49 seconds remain.
As well as Georgia Tech moved in the first half, Pitt's defense has been much better in the second half. They made some adjustments, decided to come with more pressure, and they've made it very uncomfortable for Thomas in these passing situations. I wouldn't expect them to change too much here. Now this is second and long, so they might drop back in a zone here, make Thomas throw it.
Second down and 20. Thomas again's got pressure, throws the screen, set up nicely for Marshall. Marcus Marshall out to the 22-yard line, run out of bounds there by Patamera. That's a pickup of 9, gets some of it back, half of it back.
He's trying to dump the ball here quick to Marshall. The lineman trying to get out to help out and really got in his way. But he did a good job of getting to the sidelines. Credit Marcus Marshall, the freshman, to understand that, hey, I got to get out of bounds.
So here we go, brings third down and 11.
Ricky June, the 6'3" wide receiver, is up here at the top, and he's drawing some single coverage.
Michael Summers at the bottom. They look his way. And that's incomplete. He tried to throw it away. It floated for a while. Intended for Summers. Pitts was back there.
I think he was trying to hang it to Summers some way. I don't think Justin Thomas has been right since he took the shot on the last Georgia Tech touchdown drive. He took a shot in that drive. He's been kind of holding his arm. This doesn't look very good.
Timeout Pitt with 35 seconds left. And Georgia Tech faced with a 4th and 11.
Roddy, you're standing down there. Justin just doesn't look right. He hadn't looked right for the last series or two.
No, he hasn't. I've been keeping an eye on that right shoulder, and he's hanging the arm when he's not having to toss the ball, when he's not in the play. So I agree with you, Arch. I just don't think his shoulder's been totally 100% since he took that shot. And you saw it on that pass. It just didn't come out of his hand right.
Well, next Saturday we head to Louisville. Boston College pays a visit to Papa John's Stadium. The Eagles bring in a defense that can flat out play. Ranked #1 in the nation, the freshman Lamar Jackson might have the formula to run past the Eagles. That should be a terrific game, Arch. Really fun.
I'm excited to watch both those teams. And Louisville's no slouch on defense either. They can get after you.
Georgia Tech just 10 for 17 this year on 4th downs. This will be their longest of the season. 4th, and they need 11. Got him. Great catch by June. Great route by June.
Well, and good anticipation by Justin Thomas, because he lets his ball go well before Ricky June comes out of the break. Excellent job of getting him the ball to the wide side of the field.
Had Maddox beaten with the cut. 28 seconds left. 1st down. New set of downs for the Yellow Jackets.
Justin likes to throw the ball to the short side of the field, and his receiver that he likes to throw it to is June on that side.
Josh Conklin likes to attack, and here they come. Gets out of bounds. That's complete to Summers. That'll be another 1st down. They'll move the chains close to it. He's right up by the mark. He'll be about a yard short. Keep the chains where they are. Pickup of 9.
Doing a good job of moving the quarterback out of harm's way. Paul's trying to keep the pressure off of Justin Thomas, getting him out of the pocket so he can run or throw.
Lance Davis and June at the top of the screen, and that's where Justin Thomas is looking. Throws. That's a dart. Well thrown.
They got to get up and spike it now. He was tackled.
Dropped the pass. Dropped it. Incomplete.
Boy, good job on the outside to come in with the hands and strip.
That'll give them 12 seconds to work with. So that's incomplete. Stops the clock with 12.
Maddox, young corner, battling June. Was a late strip coming in. It looked like Briggs, the freshman, came in and swatted that out right at the end.
I thought he had it long enough.
It certainly looked like it was pretty close to being down before the ball came out, but as you're being tackled, you got to complete the catch through the ground. If the ball comes out, it's incomplete.
3rd down and 1 for Georgia Tech. 12 seconds. And that's going to be pass interference on the offense. That's going to be on Michael Summers for pulling the jersey of Lafayette Pitt.
It's a poor job by Michael Summers not to understand the situation for a potential back shoulder throw. He needed to get his head around to make sure that Justin Thomas wasn't trying to get him the ball.
Pass interference, number 84, offense, 15-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Lafayette Pitt's in perfect position, did a really good job, and in Summers not pulled him. Pitts picks that. Just a really good job by Lafayette Pitts, the corner, to be in perfect position to take away the potential throw there. And when I talk about Summers, you're not talking about trying to throw the go route. You got to expect the underthrow there, but good job by Pitts. He was in perfect position.
Final 8 seconds. 3rd and 16. No timeouts. Georgia Tech's touchdowns today have been long. Justin Thomas with time, now in trouble. Buys time. Time has expired. He continues to roll, throws deep. Ball game. Intercepted. Pitt goes to 3-0 in the Coastal Division. Avonte Maddox made the pick. Game, set, match. Boy, Pitt really shut the door defensively in the second half. For highlights and must-see moments from this game and others, check out theACC.com. You've been watching coverage of the Atlantic Coast Conference football on the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports.